You shoot, better. What's going on, people? What is going on, man? Hey, shit happens. Your boy, yeah. Like I said, your boy had one of them after work power naps. So this is why we doing a little late today. So you can blame me on this one. But what's going on, people, man? Welcome to Friday Night Madness. I'm your boy, 6-man KStylzz, aka Evil Man KStylzz.
Evil man.
Ooh, ooh, yeah. And there's my man over here, as you already know, the mad
Hell,
scientist.
hell.
Uh,
You don't
uh,
fuck with me.
uh. Mad Mike Sports. Now known today as Still Claiming DPG.
To the day I die.
Hey, but it's not me. Hey, man. What's going on, everybody? What is going on? I hope everybody had a good day. I see ATM in here talking shit as usual.
Oh, the damn time. I'm gonna choke his
Told
ass
you.
one of these days.
Hey, that's your little brother, man. You already know how that go.
I know, that's why I'm that's exactly why I'm choking.
Exactly. So, hey, man, you know how we do it. Everybody know what's happening. We gotta get that real. And today's roll call.
Put a little, he put a little. Oh my god! Did you put a little Ultimate Warrior on the end of that?
Yeah.
Oh, see, only a wrestling fan would catch that type of stuff.
but today's roll call is gonna be at the sacrifice of my damn throat. God damn. But
just a little bit.
Exactly. We got Joseph Thornton in the building. We got YMOF Jamal. We got Noah Tendell. That is the homie. That is the family. Y'all make sure y'all show him love as usual. We got Silas Draven. We got Tadra Davis. We got Boomer the Falcon. We got Nat Suo. We got Brian Peoples with the Acknowledge Me. Okay, ATM 534 as usual. That's the that's little homie. They might see him later on. We don't know yet. We got D Coleman. We got Floyd Donnelly. We got Trey J Holland, Pat Norris, 4Y Goat. I don't want to say why Goat. Rodney Brown, Michael Walker, not that Michael Walker. Tony Wright and the homie Jude Talk Sports.
Juju on that
Juju to the bank and Ultra Shadow 97. All right, man. Mike, what you got for us today? What is going on, man?
I want to get out the nonsense first and foremost. So I want to knock that out real quick.
All right, listen.
It's yeah. You might want to rub your eyes again for that one. For this, but
Lord. All right. The Heath bar is an underrated candy bar, but in all seriousness, a rare tweet from Falcons wide receiver Calvin Ridley. Okay.
yeah.
Okay. Go ahead. Start off, man. I don't know what the.
I don't.
Retweeting candy.
I don't know. Just like, just why? Just like, okay. I'm like, what you just?
See, hey, look, man. Hey. Hey, Devon in the building, man. What's going on? I think Silas might have just hit something here. He might have just came up with a theory about that. Hold on. Speaking of Candy Bar, he said, if y'all didn't think he was nuts, there you have it.
All right. Perfect response, Silas. Oh my God, that's the perfect. I'm
gonna say it like this, man. Why the hell do we even care if he ain't talking about football? If he ain't talking about improving himself, proving himself to try to get that bag after next year or next year, hey, bro, we shouldn't give a fuck about what this dude talking about.
Yeah, I don't even know what I just like, okay, all right. He said Heath. Okay, so
this motherfucker probably had that tweet sitting on his damn computer since Halloween.
Hey, for real. Hey, I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna just tweet out Heath.
Yeah, man. But I think this just really just one of those cases is like, okay, live. He ain't talking about himself improving or improving his mental health, or he ain't talking about the football season and what he expects out of himself. Why the hell do we care?
That's honestly why I have no response to it. You just pretty much said exactly that. And I can't really get any better than that. And just like, all right, if you're not stating anything outside of your mental health, or you're working hard to become a better person, player, teammate, then why even care? So that's the absolute truth.
Yeah. Hey, I was about to say, you know what it reminds me of? You know what that reminds me of?
Mm-hmm.
That remind me of that joke Cat Williams said on well, I'm trying to think, was it? It was the American Hustle.
Oh,
where he said, well, remember that joke when he was talking about the woman that's sitting there just saying stuff for no reason? He was like, 98. Like, the fuck does that mean?
Really?
That's exactly what that is, bro. That was banana cream pie. That's basically what that.
It reminds me of that kid at school, and just he comes out of nowhere and he just starts screaming out a word. He be sitting in the back of the class. He just all of a sudden, hey!
No.
Everybody looking back there like, what's wrong with you? This is what this tweet means. This is what this.
It's almost like a cry for help, but it's like you said, the kid in the back of the class talking about ham sandwich. The fuck is he talking about? Man, we giving this shit more time than what it really need, man. What the fuck, bro?
Oh my god!
Like, McGriddle!
I got a peanut butter jelly sandwich. I ain't got no ham sandwich.
What is it? Is it McGriddle? I'm like, oh Lord.
Oh my god!
Oh man.
No, what's going on?
We got the homie Noah in the building, man. What's good, man?
Hey, can you guys hear me?
Yeah. World.
I'm not really sure how I can hear myself. He? Are you serious? He?
Right.
Bro, if that ain't Kevin really taking the I don't know what that is.
That's the first thing.
I had to pull over for that. I'm on the road right now, and I gotta get some stuff done.
Oh my god!
Ain't no way. After all this time, we just get Heath.
I just be in the middle of the show like we just be in the that's just like being in the middle of the show. We talk about like condoms. I'm like, wait, what? but we giving it oh man,
Listen, don't worry.
Oh my God. Yeah, hey man, I don't know what the at the end of the day, hey man, he tweeting. At least we know he okay. Oh my God. I don't know how we even got this segment out of that. I don't know how
ski. Like, my left nut say hurt. I'm like, wait, what?
What you got in my pocket, boy? Get out of my pocket.
Oh man. Oh man. Hey, look. Let's move on, boy. Let's move on before we start coming up. Hey, look, that's gonna be the theme of tonight's show. So y'all get ready for that. All right, Mike. What else you got? What else you got on the damn boys?
This is pretty much just a small snippet of the combine. Y'all can give you your thoughts on it as well. Mel Kiper Jr., the quarterbacks workout, Kenny Pickett was the most consistent, while Malik Willis showed off his rocket arm. The second-tier quarterbacks, Carson Strong, Bailey Zappi, E.J. Perry, held their own too. And two of those guys that I had in my I had those in my top on my quarterbacks. So but I think this is interesting. The first Kenny Pickett was the most consistent. That right there, and this is what we're talking about. We said that earlier with as far as his hands is concerned. Maybe it's not as important as
right,
as they let it, because if he has small hands, I mean, he's the most consistent out of all the quarterbacks. I don't see a problem with it. I don't see a problem, but I will say this. This is what we already knew about Malik Willis. A rocket arm. We already know that. But the fact that he said Kenny Pickett was the most consistent, does that change how any one of you guys feel? That he said Kenny Pickett was the most consistent, and this is Mel Kiper Jr. And I've been getting conflicting reports from certain people that are content creators for the Atlanta Falcons. They've been stating that everybody's blown away by Malik Willis, but we hear guys like Mel Kiper Jr. saying that Kenny Pickett was the most consistent. So, like, where's the truth? Where's the truth in this statement and what a lot of people are saying? That I really want to know what a lot of people think.
Oh man, let's see. Consistency. Well, from looking at that tweet, like I said, y'all already know I'm Mel Kiper Jr. and coming out my mouth usually doesn't end up very well. He's still a joke. But like I said, that's been kind of like the main thing that most of these scouts and stuff been talking about with this conversation for the last few weeks, as far as because if you notice, he said Kenny Pickett has been the most consistent. While Malik Willis showed off his rocket arm.
Mm-hmm.
He didn't say anything. He didn't say anything else about anything but a rocket arm.
Mm-hmm. And that's exactly what I'm focused on.
Right. And he said Carson Strong, Bailey Zapp, and E.J. Perry held their own too.
Mm-hmm.
Because as we know, the city of Atlanta.
too. I just
What's up?
realized a lot of names are not being put in there. Ritter, um,
Mhm.
Sam Howell. He didn't say anything about them in
Right,
this.
right, yeah. Yeah, like I said, and everybody, and then like I said, Coach Millie Mills gonna remind me because, like I said, hey, yeah, everybody know I'm a Ritter guy. So,
Mm-hmm.
and like as we said, they talk about Ritter and his 4.40 and all that stuff, and we say this from the get go. We don't give a damn about 40s over
Uh-uh.
here.
No. The rest
Yeah,
of them, you gonna run
right,
your true game
right,
anyway.
right. But yeah, but like I said, Kenny Pickens, I know he's been getting all the small hands jokes. He's been so people was talking about he over here looking like
Oh, wow, that's
the dude from Scary Movie 2. You remember the butler that had the small hand like this? They talk
right.
that's what they trying to call him. But here's the thing though. Here's the thing though. The main thing that you have to do as a quarterback, regardless if your hands are small or not, you gotta get the ball out quick. If he and that's what these teams are gonna look for. This is why we said a lot of these quarterbacks are not really first round quarterbacks. Somebody's gonna reach for one of these guys, but they are really not graded first round quarterbacks to be honest with you.
Mm-hmm.
But it's like taking that thing. It's like taking it and it goes back to what Silas said yesterday. I mean, was what I mentioned about what Silas said last week was, do you want to be the splash in the pond or the ripple in the pond?
Mm-hmm.
Right now, Malik Willis is the splash. That shit's the loudest.
Mm-hmm.
You see it, it makes the most noise. Or do you want to be that ripple that, okay, you can't really see it, but you know it's there and it has to travel across the whole pond? Like I said, that's how you kind of have to look at the apples and oranges with that right there. Chicken fried egg rolls.
That's gonna be the thing of the night, boy.
But Trey said it's amazing how all quarterback got to do is throw 2 to 3 good deep balls and be athletic, and Atlanta will riot over them. And that's kind of like the main thing. And it's kind of sad to see that. It's all, like I said, it's almost kind of like an envious want. Because we have to look at how the NFL is constructed today. I mean, like I said, yes, you can have the big arm, you can be athletic, but how many times are you gonna be throwing the deep ball in the game? And when we talk about, and they're looking at the deep ball as for 35 yards and more, you ain't throwing them type of passes 10 to 15 times a game.
Exactly. A lot like college. You're not gonna, and like if you look at what the NFL has already done to the Chiefs have been notorious for the past 2-3 years for throwing a lot of deep passes. And teams ain't trying to say that shit. Egg rolls! But teams ain't trying to hear that. A lot of teams just not trying to hear that. They're really not trying to allow the quarterback to sit back and just throw the ball deep. A lot of times in the NFL, you're not going to have 3 or 4 seconds to even throw the ball deep to begin with, because honestly, the time actually the time in the NFL, a quarterback is supposed to get the ball out of his hand is under 3 seconds. Matt Ryan, Peyton Manning, Tom Brady, those guys, Drew Brees, they were like, I think Matt Ryan at some point I think he was like a little bit when he and Peyton Manning was playing at the same time with Drew Brees, Tom Brady. The only person that was quicker than Matt Ryan to get the ball out of his hand was Peyton Manning. That was it. Matt Ryan is a quarterback. Don't hold on to the ball. And honestly, again, that's the NFL. So I don't look at a strong arm in the NFL. It's been the NR be all. A lot of quarterbacks, and Kevin, I know I'm about to go right into something that that's gonna bring up something to you. Most quarterbacks have an elongated throwing motion, and that's what I'm seeing from Malik Willis. If you look at his old coach, which is our homeboy Big Chauncey, he actually pointed out to me a few days ago. He was like, he has that playground style of hitch in his throw. He's like, if you go back and look at it, it's almost like a Byron Leftwich, but it's not so. It's not.
It's not prevalent, but the hitch is there.
And that's the thing in the NFL. If you just got anything, that's the same thing that happened to Tim Tebow. I'm not saying he's Tim Tebow. He's clearly not Tim Tebow.
Oh God! Ain't nobody Tim Tebow. Ain't nobody Tim Tebow.
Yeah, he's not Tim Tebow. I don't know what he like. He trying to touch the damn ball with the ground before he damn threw it.
Well, I take Nathan Peterman over Tim Tebow.
Boy. For real. But like I said, he does have he has a big arm, but my concern with that is having that big arm and having that little weird hitch, because it's like I said, when he throws it, he holds the ball up high, but in his throwing motion, the ball goes down, and that's something that even with the Bulldogs' old quarterback in I don't know why I just got a brain fart, but Jake Fromm, he had like this little weird hitch that he had to kind of get rid of. So like these are the things as quarterbacks in the NFL, you got to get rid of those weird quirks, and that's a weird quirk that Malik Willis has. He has a big time arm. I think he can be a starter in the NFL. I already did a video on it. I will share it again if you guys have not seen it. I'll share it to the community tab. But he does have the ability to throw the deep ball and accurate. But what I don't like in his game, obviously, is that little weird hitch. But I very seldom see him throw short and intermediate routes in college. That's a major concern for me. When I don't see quarterbacks throwing the short and intermediate routes, and I mean in the middle of the field consistently, I've seen Desmond Ridder, I've seen Sam Howell, I've seen every one of these quarterbacks throw the ball in the middle of the field consistently. When I looked at Liberty tape, there's one thing that stood out to me. When he didn't have that deep pass and the outside boundary throws, he likes to take off and run. And another thing that kind of worries me with Malik Willis is that he has that Cam Newton type of mentality. He feel like he can just run over everybody. He's not that big to begin with. That's a major concern as well. So, again, I think Malik has the talent. As obviously, there's a second round grade on Malik Willis. A second round grade on him. So at the end of the day, to be honest, I'm gonna go with this list as well. I'm gonna add a few people, not in particular order, but Kenny Pickett, Desmond Ridder, Bailey Zappi, Carson Strong, and Malik Willis. Those are the top quarterbacks in this league, in this draft, if you ask me. Got a couple other guys that I feel as though that can that will make an impact, but like I said, it's gonna be weird. This this one as well. I'm just gonna go and let me go to something else right here. There we go. Michigan defensive lineman, Chris Hinton. Why does that name sound familiar? Chris Hinton.
Chris.
I remember a Chris Hinton that used to play for the Falcons. Hinton that used to play for the Falcons a long time ago. I don't know if he's related, but I do remember Chris Hinton.
Right.
But yeah, that's a guy that he said that he was a Falcons fan. Also, it's a lot of speculation out there as far as the Giants trying to get rid of Saquon Barkley. James Bradbury could be in a trade, but these are just some headlines. As far as that, before we kind of open it up for you guys to come on. Saquon Barkley, I think that's going to cost too much to get a guy like that. I'm not willing to pay him a lot of money. Bradbury, you got Alec Lindstrom. That he said it would be pretty cool to play with his brother Chris Lindstrom. I don't know how you feel about that, KStylzz, but we already got two centers. He can play guard as well. I think he has the side of guard. So, what do you think about
Alex Lindstrom? Like you said, I think that could work for the Falcons because you're going to need guys. As we know, you're going to need a couple guys that can be your swing guard linemen and stuff like that. And that's just one of those cases where, like you said, remember Matt. I think they released Matt Gano, right? I'm just trying to make sure they released him. They released him. Josh Andrews. You don't know what the hell you're gonna get out of that.
Right.
So
I think he's signed a one-year deal anyway. I'm not.
Right. Sure. Yeah, I think he might be free agent. Apparently, because nobody cares, because ain't nobody talking about it. But
all right.
But you just take the name out. If, like I said, and we're just looking at this because you're taking the name out, taking the Lindstrom name out, call him just Alec. But as far as like a swing guard center, like somebody that has, and what we always say, that's the multiple position players. Every team at least has one or two of those type of guys. Like you said, we're still kind of, like I said, as a lot of people would say, we still kind of uncertain at the center position. Still gonna need one more year with these guys to see what we got. Jalen Mayfield, we looking at we gotta see where the progression goes from year one to year two. But like I said, Alec Lindstrom, that's definitely a lineman I could take advantage of. I can definitely see the Falcons using, because you, like I said, you still need backup guards anyway. You still need some depth. I'm sorry, but I got people in here. People in here talk about, boy, Traylon Burks is absolute dog water.
Wow. Damn, boy.
they talk about, boy, he was dropping passes. He was dropping everything out there. Hey, that might be good. He might drop to the second.
Yeah,
that might be good.
Let's get Devontae. He's itching to say something real quick.
It's that Devontae swag. Devontae.
Yo.
What's up, man? What's happening, man? What's happening?
What's up with y'all?
Not much.
Hey,
I just got one thing. When y'all was talking about Chris Hinton earlier, that is his son, by the way.
I thought so. Okay, yeah, I thought so.
Okay.
Wow.
Yeah,
and I had to bring this up. I saw a tweet right before I came on. I think it was well, I ain't gonna get on no cloud. I'm gonna try to say I can, but it was this Twitter that talked about Georgia sports, right? They had to highlight of Malik Willis throwing that rocket bomb in the combine, and then they're talking about their next tweet following was, and he from Georgia too. Like, that cannot be why you want a prospect. I'm sorry, they got to be a lot better than that. You need to look at the film, the intangibles. We cannot just want a player to come here because A, they black, B, they from Georgia. I'm tired of that being the top two measurables from people.
Unfortunately, that's just something we're gonna be like I said, we just gonna be dealing with. Hey man, at this, like I said, I just say it like this, and I tell folk like this. At this point in time, if that's what you're looking for as a savior for you to remain with the Falcons fan base, just take it to Philadelphia, take it to Chicago, please, because at the end of the day, yes, Malik Willis is a interesting prospect, but damn, dude, we got way more pressing matters right now, and I guarantee he probably said take him at 8. Am I right?
Yeah. Which to me doesn't make sense. All these holes and all these problems. We have a team that literally finished with 19 sacks. We have a team that literally had over 90 quarterback hits on Matt Ryan. Are y'all thinking about 2024? Ain't we supposed to get better right now?
And that's the thing, man. Oh shit, that's what shit did. Just put an invitation out because these the people that we want to call in and talk to. Because
I put it up. I had a PSA. I put it in the groups. Yeah, and
yeah. And like I said, it is, and like I said, that's the thing, man. You talking about a draft pick that doesn't help the team now,
right?
Like I said, if the Falcons didn't have the holes where Matt Ryan was getting hit all the time and the defense wasn't getting sacks and the edge rushers get as much pressure on the quarterback as a baby just waking up from a nap. I'm like, no.
We're positioned at a top 10 pick, where literally our depth chart at edge is Adetokunbo. I didn't forget his name. Ogundeji. That's it. And he was drafted what, 5th round? But we looking to get the next quarterback that's gonna sit for a while.
Like you said, make it make sense.
It won't make sense. You know, they looking at right tackles because Caleb McGarry is going to be the next one on the way out because he's not going to get that 5th year option. Fortunately, the top end of the draft is full of quality left tackles that might be there, might not be there. It's full of edge players that might be there, might not be there. Even top corners. I don't understand the point of not taking the top of each position of your choice that can be an impact starter over grabbing a Malik Willis right now. It doesn't make sense to me. And literally Terry Fontenot said, in the same sentence when he was talking about the quarterbacks, by the way, that you shouldn't reach. We're not going to be a team that reaches.
Right. And like you said, if you didn't have the issues that you had these past couple years with everything, and you wanted to take that opportunity to get a quarterback high like that, that's fine. But when you got too many holes that you got to fill up, because we got to remember, with as many holes as the Falcons got right now, the first 2 picks have to be guys that can start immediately or make a high contributing player.
Exactly. We don't have a starting worth edge. Don't have a starting nose tackle. Don't have another corner alongside AJ Terrell. We literally don't know who the hell is going to be starting at nickel, let alone safety. Like this, we're about to lose Fourier because they're probably not going to even re-sign him. They might let Walker start. Like there's so many things going on to be worrying about 3 years from now. You have to improve each game and each year. But I think a lot of fans will keep looking towards the end of Matt Ryan. You can't look at that like that, especially when he has a lot of football left in him. I'm sorry, that's a direct quote from Arthur Smith.
Yeah. And then you have to think about it too. If you do bring quarterback in that situation and now you ain't got no damn money, because remember, you haven't built the team properly, then the first thing you gonna scream and complain about is why this quarterback ain't got no help. Duh, motherfucker, you ain't built enough help around him before he got a chance to play.
That's exactly what's going to go on. If you can't protect Matt Ryan right now, why in the hell do I going to believe that you're going to protect the next quarterback?
Right. But
I got a number for people.
Go ahead.
Go ahead, KStylzz.
No. I'm about to say 2,200. That's why I was looking at 2,200.
2,200. Yeah, I want. I think Devontae kind of know. He knows this. I keep throwing this number out here. What does 2,200 means when it comes down to Atlanta Falcons? I think I've said it already, but I want to keep saying it. I really want to hammer this through. So everybody, I give you about 30 seconds. Just let me know what 2,200 means to the Atlanta Falcons team. All right. I got two numbers for y'all. And this is what we're talking about as far as this Falcons team and why we should be looking at other pressing needs. And I got to get this off my chest. I have to get this off my chest because not only have we seen this from a lot of people, and there's a lot of these content creators saying, I'll keep throwing their name out there. There's a lot of content creators, and there's a lot of not just content creators, a lot of analysts out here. A lot of analysts and radio popular radio stations, they've been saying this about this guy. And what this number represents is 2,200 yards. The Falcons gave up on the defensive end. And in the running game itself, they gave up 130 yards a game running the ball, and we're focusing on a quarterback. The same quarterback that a lot of you guys, the same coach that a lot of you guys pointed the finger at and said the reason why the Falcons aren't scoring points is because Arthur Smith isn't a bad play caller. So you want to put Malik Willis in the hands of a bad play caller. These are your statements, Falcons content creators. You said that he was not a good play caller, and you want to put Malik in the hands of a bad play caller? This is what we're talking about when we say make it make sense. We gotta stop this. This is not a goddamn look. This ain't going to a damn one of them damn events where you got the events where these ladies, they got a big sexy man. The nigga got muscles. He big. He swole. He doing all this, and they just up there pointing. This ain't one of them type of events, okay? I want. My thing is, y'all got to keep that same freaking energy. Y'all got to stop being all over the place when we talk about. Go ahead.
Hey, I got the perfect analogy. Y'all ready for this one? Stir fry rice. Okay.
Chippendale. That's it. Chippendale. This ain't Chippendale where you buy the biggest dude. This ain't what this is. This ain't Chippendale. Okay. This ain't Chippendale.
Mike, you know what they want, man. They want the Atlanta Wakanda Panthers.
That's exactly what they want. That's exactly what they want.
Oh, they want the T.I. Migos Falcons. That's what they want. I got the perfect analogy. It's like a woman getting a BBL. For those people that know what that means, a Brazilian butt lift. Mm-hmm. But her teeth, but instead of paying money, but she's spending all her money on BBL. But her teeth look like Melina. Yeah.
I was told earlier today that Malik Willis is clearly quarterback one, which I don't understand because every single thing you've read on him, they talk about his running ability. What the hell does that have to do with him playing the quarterback position?
I don't know, man. It's like as long as you can run the ball, you're the greatest quarterback of all time.
If you can run the ball well and throw it far, you're Michael Vick. But where the hell Michael Vick at right now? On the couch, ain't he? What he doing in his career? Look exciting and do nothing, right? So why do we want the next Michael Vick? Why?
Two playoff appearances in 6 seasons.
Why do we want that? I want the best quarterback that can be possible, that can diagnose defenses. Can Malik Willis diagnose a defense, or can he only throw out yards? Because when I watched the Senior Bowl, that's all he threw.
Hey, look, like I said, the first 2 picks, I want edge rushers, I want defensive linemen, I want trench players. I want trench players.
I watched every single quarterback at the Senior Bowl play, and not one of them made a significant change to their draft status. Not one of them. So don't tell me he's clearly quarterback 1. Why? What did he do at Liberty? What talent did he play against? Why should I take this guy over somebody at a bigger school that has way more intangibles?
And that's, like I said, my thing is we got to keep that same energy. We can't be like we can't like one of the things that when we talk about the team and where they are, we're still unaware. We don't know if Arthur Smith and Dean Pease are great. I can say Dean Pease is a guy that develops talent. We can say that. But the jury is still out on Arthur Smith, what he's able to do with his offensive linemen, running backs, and wide receivers, quarterbacks. The jury is still out. He's a young coach. So why continue to draft guys that we don't know what this team is? We don't know what this team is. Why take a chance on guys when you don't know what these guys are? We don't know what a lot of these rookies are. We don't know what the defensive guys like Marlon Davidson. We don't know what those guys are.
We need to keep that same energy on all fronts. We're doing. I'm talking about as a fan base, because I've seen the same fans say, "Oh, Matt Ryan sucked. Matt Ryan need to go. They need to trade Matt Ryan." But then the same breath say, "Oh well, we can get Malik Willis and have him sit and learn behind Matt Ryan." Why you want him to learn behind Matt? I thought Matt sucked, right?
You literally just said exactly what I was about to say. Like how you want somebody to learn from somebody that sucks? Isn't that quarterback gonna suck too? Make it make sense. Make it make sense. You like I said, that's like you trying to you're trying to find reasoning to justify why you want the guy, but you're willing to cut off your own nose to get that guy. Like, motherfucker, I need to smell. Let me cut that off. Okay, now I can't smell no more. But I got this guy.
All these fans be scouting for is, are they black? Can they run fast? Oh, right. If they from Georgia, that's an added piece. Oh wow, that's the next guy for the Atlanta Falcons.
And this is why I said. This is why I said, man. It's like you said, you can't, and I agree with you. You can't use the university. I want them because they went to University of Georgia thing neither. Bruh. If Dallas Cowboys fans said if Dallas Cowboys got every player that came from Texas, y'all really don't want to know what the Dallas Cowboys will look like if all they players that came from Texas went to Dallas. You think Atlanta is one thing and University of Georgia is one thing. I'm like, dude, you better get the best player you can.
As far as when it comes to UGA players, I can admit they've had a lot more talent come out in recent years. But that does not mean the Atlanta Falcons need to draft 7 players from UGA only. There's so many schools, so much talent around the country that they got to look everywhere. They can't just look in the hometown all the time. We can't want every quarterback that come from UGA. They really don't usually pan out at all. The only one that panned out just won a Super Bowl, but only because he left the team that he was drafted to.
Right.
So why we keep wanting these certain players? I like UGA too. But can we honestly say they pan out a lot?
No. Oh, look, Noah hit one right here. I hope they realize they said Malik Willis said that Matt Ryan was one of his inspirations as a quarterback. where's the energy about the guys that say that we want Malik Willis by any means necessary, but knowing that his favorite quarterback is the quarterback you hate the most?
Don't let the next quarterback's NFL player comparison be Matt Ryan, because that's exactly why they didn't want Mac Jones. It had nothing to do with his talent. They said he plays just like Matt Ryan. Oh no, we need Trey Lance. We need Justin Fields. We need something different.
Clear was the best quarterback in this draft.
Yeah, because
he said that.
Yeah,
before the draft, he's going to end up being one of the best.
Yeah, because he actually played in a pro style system. He actually played in a pro style system at Alabama, even though their system is based on the type of quarterback they got. But he's one of those guys that don't make a lot of mistakes. And at the end of the day, as a young quarterback, that's a plus. If you don't make mistakes like that, you ain't got to be the most physically gifted.
I see that comment, GGG, bro. Ain't nobody say nothing about that. I didn't even know he was from Georgia.
Yeah, I was about,
No one talks about them.
Nah, man. Like I said, you got to fit the narrative. Davis Mills doesn't fit the narrative. This is what we're talking about, the narrative.
Watch the groups, whatever groups y'all in, whatever YouTubers y'all follow, Twitter y'all follow, just watch what they do and what they say. I can guarantee you, the Falcons don't draft a quarterback this year or next year, you're going to see another random black quarterback in a Photoshop Falcons uniform. I see it every single year. It don't matter who.
It's going to be Bryce. It's going to be Bryce.
I saw Bryce Young in the Falcons uniform, and I didn't even know who he was yet. It's that bad.
Yeah. Again, all we ask is to watch what they say and watch when they do when things do not go as planned. All right? We always say over here, hold us accountable for what we say and what we do. That's it. That's all. We're going to be wrong.
Exactly.
One of the big differences between this group and everybody else is that we have our own feelings about what we feel like they need to do, but when they do what they want or feel like they should be doing, we respect them and we believe in whoever players they bring in. We don't consistently say, "Why would we Kyle Pitts? We should have got Micah Parsons. We should have did this. We should have did that." I've seen so many people talking about this last draft didn't produce anything. They don't even have time to develop in Atlanta. That's how y'all feel. They got to come out here and be all Pro Bowlers. How many times there's a draft class from a team all contributors day one? Almost never.
That's
and then we talk about this.
Like, I know I can speak for KStylzz. Neither one of us, we were trying to figure out what the hell they were doing when they drafted AJ Terrell. I was like, oh my God, like, are you serious? Like, I like you back to my response to that pick. I was completely taken off. But I was like, okay, I'm gonna just give it a chance. Why? Because it could work out. A lot of those, a lot of picks, it just. But when you talk about, how people react to certain things, there wasn't. You don't see any anger, and we don't see any backlash as far as when Arthur Smith and Terry Fontenot, they make the decision. People want to get rid of them. You've never heard me one time say, let's fire Thomas Dimitrov because he picked AJ Terrell. These are the things that we hear from these people. They want to get rid of everybody because they wanted to fire. They literally wanted to fire Terry Fontenot the first year when we didn't draft Justin Fields. These are the things you said. Like I said, you can go back and listen. Go ahead. I knew that would get you. I knew that would get you.
So you're saying they wanted to fire a black GM that there ain't that many of in the NFL. Because
that they beg for. Whoa. That they beg for. Y'all beg for the black GM. Y'all beg for that.
Nah, let me put the cherry on the top. You know what they wanted? After Louis Riddick said that he would have drafted a quarterback, oh man, we should have hired Louis Riddick. He would have got a quarterback. So it didn't matter who it was. It matters what they said they was going to do. If it fit your narrative.
Right. Donald Trump could have said he wanted Malik Willis. They would have said, bring Donald Trump in, racist ass in. No, no. I'll put a bigger racist in there. Let's get Joe Biden as GM. He's gonna get Malik Willis. Yeah, I said that. I went there. They could have got they would have got a Grand Dragon KKK member as a GM as long as he would have drafted Justin Fields. If they would have drafted Justin Fields, like, oh yeah, we know he a racist motherfucker, but he drafted Justin Fields, so we good.
Got a lot of these players to develop and find their own way, man. I don't see the point of watching these players and saying, well, everybody's a bust except for Kyle Pitts. Why is that? Richie Grant barely got to play in his actual position. He was drafted as a safety. So how are we projecting him as a bust if he never got to play his position? It makes no sense. Jalen Mayfield had to struggle because he wasn't even supposed to start. It wasn't the plan. He only got to start because Josh Andrews broke his hand. Had Josh Andrews broke his hand, you would have never seen Jalen Mayfield this year. But since he got to play as one of the most raw prospects, it was a high ceiling and a low floor type dude. That's what we saw. 1 year bad play, and we're like, oh, we need to throw him to the wolves. When he could be like Isaiah Oliver.
Yep, it's the 80-20 rule. What they call it, the 80-20 rule. The 80%, they want 80% bad chicks and 20% regular chicks. But don't know that 80% can be not worth a damn. But look, Josh Gillum hit a comment here I did like. He said, how did the Mike Mayock experience work? I didn't want Louis Ridley.
Boy, yes, sir.
This man tore that team up, and I don't want Louis Ridley. Louis Ridley can't get a job now. He just interviewed for Pittsburgh. I ain't heard a lick out of him since.
Oh my God. But you want to go ahead and open it up now?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Let's go ahead and open it up now, man. I probably already did it, but I'm gonna do it again. Oh man, let us know what y'all think, man. What y'all got to say on this, on what y'all feel about y'all combine and what y'all takes on the combine is. Hey, look, Noah Tidell said, I thought the 80-20 rule was the fans won't care what you gave them 80% good games. All they remember are the 20% good games. That's exactly what it is, man.
That sounds like how they feel about Matt Ryan's career. Don't care about all the MVPs and all the playoffs. They just care about what have you done for me lately.
I put a tweet out. I put a tweet out a couple days ago where I put like the little stats about the MVPs and the Rookie of the Years and the Offensive Player of the Years and stuff like that. There was a reason why I did that, because there was I did a little thing cryptic in it. I said 3 to 4 times Pro Bowl. I don't think people really wanted to answer that one because that's Matt right. That look, cause what it is cause remember when we said that when we put those accolades out there, they said Matt Ryan was not a Hall of Famer, right? But came to find out that the guy that they thought was that they said the Hall of Famer got the same exact accolades. Who's that guy I'm talking about?
Who? Hey, you don't know that you ain't a football man.
Superman in the building.
Super Cam. But nobody wanted to answer that. I was waiting for the answer, but let's go ahead. We're gonna get some folks in here. We're gonna have our usual crew people in here. Easy, hold on, man. We're gonna bring you on the second, man. Alice, what's going on?
What's going on, y'all? What's going on?
Nothing much, man. How you feeling? How you feeling today?
I'm feeling good. I'm not gonna lie. Uh, a lot of things are going on my mind with this draft. I've been looking more and more at our contracts. And honestly, I don't know much about contracts. So these past 2 days, I've been just learning more and more about contracts. But I think that this is, I don't know. I think we're in an interesting situation. And now more and more things start to be on the table, like extending Matt Ryan, whether to do so or not, extending Grady Jarrett, whether to do so or not, looking for possibly Grady's replacement if they entertain the idea of trading him, looking for Matt Ryan's replacement in case they end up trading him next year. Like it's just a whole bunch of experiments that are going through my mind, and it's insane.
Yeah. I mean, you got a whole bunch of things going on. That's why I say this team is not set. I mean, but they don't really have the wiggle room to be trying to experiment with roster moves and stuff.
Project players. I just call it what it is.
Project players. The could bees. Let's do it better. The could bees. That's what we're gonna call them. I don't like the term project player. That's we call them the could bees.
The could be, yeah. He could be good. He could be good. Not that he is good.
Yeah, that's basically like I said. That's more of a harsher way of saying that project player. That's he could be or he has a high ceiling, but we don't know where he is now.
Mm-hmm.
I'll say this: I don't want a full draft of Cam Reddishes. I don't. I'm sorry. I don't want Oh man, he was so good in high school, but it don't translate.
Let me just say that too. A smaller version of Cam.
The other alternative, right? Aside from for like the one route, you have kind of like two alleys. I think the one route you can go with trading Grady this year because it's the last year of his contract. You can trade Matt Ryan next year because I think he's making $40 million for a cap hit, and then he has a $15 million dead cap, which you could take on, but that's questionable. If you
20 million or something, the dead
20
cap
million,
like 23, 24 million, something like that.
23, 24. Okay, I think
that's still a high. That's a high ass number when you're trying to.
It is high. It is really high.
Mm-hmm.
But the second route is to start extending players, like extending Matt Ryan, restructuring Jake Matthews, extending Grady Jarrett, and keeping these guys a little bit longer. But also the important thing about extending these players is to kind of learn from the contracts that they just got. For example, Grady Jarrett was making somewhere around $16 million base salary, which I mean would be fine if you weren't factoring the fact that he has like some bonuses, and those bonuses aren't like too high per se, but like they add up over years, which means like trading is out the window, but it also means that cap hit becomes higher and higher. Therefore, it's taking up more of your cap to sign other players. So I feel like not necessarily asking them to take a whole pay cut because their talents are valued, but you also have to learn from the contracts that you offered and from the last regime. So I think that that's something that I'm interested to see in, because I know the route of which we're going, which is the route that I just mentioned. But I also do I wonder right now if Arthur Smith and Terry Fontenot are talking to Matt Ryan and Grady Jarrett like, all right, it's extension time. We need to get these players back. We need to run it back. I know we have the talent to at least make some noise, but I also need y'all to understand that we can't give you the money that y'all were used to, because that is just taking too much up of our cap. That's what I'm curious of.
There's something about Matt Ryan's contract that I think a lot of people don't know. Do y'all know what happens with his contract on March 18th?
Oh man,
Y'all know?
You don't know?
Don't know.
He gets a $7.5 million guaranteed roster bonus.
Oh yeah, I do know about that.
2 days after March 16th, which is the beginning of free agency. Y'all really think that they're going to just let that cap hit sit there and him get a roster bonus and just say we're just going to work around it?
I think
They're already $6 million in the hole. About $7 million in the hole already. So they can't give them money they don't have. They don't have.
I think that goes along with what Mad Mike was saying, because I know I said $15 million and you just brought up $7 million, and that's what Mad Mike got the 23 from. On Sports Track it says 23. It says $15 million cap hit or dead cap if you were to trade him next year. But yeah, so like I know the way of which we're going, and that's a no brainer because Terry Fontenot's made it very, very clear. And Matt Ryan is not someone that you can easily replace because he's.
Let me say that real quick. Sorry about that, but I think this is important in this conversation right now. If you go to D-Led, and D-Led is somebody that he annoys a lot of people, but D-Led, let's be real, he has a lot of inside information. So if he's telling us that the Falcons should, okay, if this is the same guy that broke the story about the Falcons hiring on Dirk Cutter, aka former friend. It's the same guy that broke that story. So he has a little bit of say and and a little bit of inside information when it comes, because he's the elder statesman with all the reporters and journalists in Atlanta. People gotta go through D-Leg. D-Leg gets first dibs on everything. Jeff Schultz, all those guys. It's D-Led and D-Led. So he put out a story earlier today, and he said that Matt Ryan, what's best for the Falcons right now was to extend Matt Ryan for at least 1 to 2 years. Extend him, which more than likely will be 2 years. With the third and fourth, those years will probably be like voidable years. But yeah, I think that's worth mentioning, because there's not a lot of guys that are coming out and stating that.
Which I think is something that you touched on. You also said voidable years, just in case anything happens. For example, let's just say somewhere in the 2 years that we're extending him, a can't miss quarterback prospect is in range, and we're able to take him, or maybe a quarterback prospect falls and he's progressing well. It leads to a developmental place where maybe in those years that quarterback is ready to start. Then letting us go into a new era without facing cap mess and stuff of that nature, while still remaining the same structure that we've created, which I think is very, very. I think that's honestly the best plan, like to extend Matt Ryan and to have voidable years, contract friendly years, but also giving him what he deserves, or what he has been not what he deserves, but what his performance basically indicates based off of the league. Yeah, I think that's what's important right now. The last regime kind of put us in a very messy spot, so now it's really like important to take care of these financial aspects and really be like specific on what we're doing.
Okay. Hold on, I want to hit this comment right here. He was talking about Mad Mike KStylzz. Your feelings about Malik Willis and Cam Newton is reverse racism. I don't know if he's joking or serious, but we never mentioned neither one of them about being black playing the quarterback position. That's the difference. We talk about the quarterback play.
Yeah, I don't even get caught up in that.
I don't get caught up in that. I look at the player.
We in the football. I don't really see skin color when we talk about football and sports. No, I'm a huge fan. I'm a huge fan of hockey. All right, brothers in hockey. All right, so you can miss me with that.
I thought I should mention that Carson Strong had mentioned in an interview that one of his inspirations was Matt Ryan. So I just thought I should throw that out there. And he plays just like him, if I'm being quite honest.
Well, I guess that's another quarterback the Falcon fans don't want.
But he has like a stronger arm. That's pretty much it.
No, just the fact that you mentioned Matt Ryan, they like that's no go for me.
Well, I seem to remember a content creator saying that Carson Strong moves like a 44-year-old Tom Brady. Doesn't make sense, but I heard it.
And he got the right last name. His arm better be damn strong if he can't move.
You ask me, he kind of runs similar to that of Matt Ryan. Because no,
you didn't. No.
Hear me out.
I got you. No, I'm not picking on. I actually agree with you. That's exactly what I said. That's exactly what I said.
I was just saying that because he used to play basketball back in high school, and he looks quite athletic, but he's had a few knee injuries, which is why a lot of people are kind of scared off by Carson Strong, which is why I think not a lot of people are putting him amongst like the first tier of quarterbacks. That, and I guess sometimes I think in the Senior Bowl he had a ball that was intercepted, which I think had more to do with the wind than his actual accuracy, because his tape doesn't really reflect those wild inaccuracy, those wild inaccurate balls. But he can still get out kind of similar to that of Matt Ryan, even with like a little like wobbly knee. So I don't know. That's just me.
Yeah, because either way, at the end of the day, your quarterback is only as good as the guys protecting them.
Mm-hmm.
So hashtag trenches matter.
Hashtag. And speaking of the trenches, I thought I'd quickly touch on the Alex Lindstrom comment. I'm not going to compare him, because I was going to say that he kind of reminds me of a powerful Matt Hennessy, but I'm not gonna go there. He seems really well with his hands, like really, really good with his hands. That's like the first thing that pops off when I watch his tape, which is great because his brother is really good with his hands as well. But like, it's like he has those tools, like he can anchor, which is something that took Matt Hennessy a minute to learn. And he can like run over people, or at least he's decent in the run game if you ask him to do power situations, which we don't run specifically because of Matt Hennessy, or at least not much of because of Matt Hennessy. Like he has those tools, he has the hands, but it's just like, sometimes he'll have his head down and he loses his leverage. I don't really trust him amongst the best of the best when it comes to his hands. He'll flop down sometimes. It's just like some stupid stuff that just kind of like lowers my value for him. And then on top of it, I don't think his skills match up against, I don't know, Devontae Wyatt or Perion Winfrey or some of these D tackles in this class that can actually get pressure. So I'm just a little hesitant on Alec Lindstrom. Like I like guys, like if you're gonna go after some guys, Zion Johnson, Ed Ingram, Kerryon Green. There's a guy that I like later down in the draft who I think is a kind of raw, but I think he can learn, and that's Tyler Smith from Tulsa. He got that farm strength. You know what I'm talking about? But he's not terrible with his hands, but he can just get a little bit better, because he's like, if I get my hands on you, you're done, and I like that.
How do you feel about someone like Cole Strange later on?
Yeah, like he can do some things with his hands. So pause, but yeah.
Don't pause there. Say it again. He could do some things with his hands.
Hey, that's the same thing G.D. Bush said about Kevin Durant. If y'all missed that tweet,
I'll stay away from that.
Exactly. Yeezy.
What's up?
What's going on, man?
Easy.
What's up, bud?
Hey, I sent you the video. You seen it?
Nah, I ain't
Oh
see a
my,
video, man.
No, Mike. I sent you the
yeah,
video.
I
You
saw
seen
it.
it?
Yeah,
Oh
I
Lord.
saw it.
Oh Lord. What happened now?
The dude was talking about. I mean, today I was doing my research, looking for people criticizing Matt Ryan and stuff like that. Right?
Mm-hmm.
I found a video and I sent it to Mike. I found a more horrible video than that. I saw that dude. That dude was basically telling people that get away, get rid of Matt Ryan, like send him out. He don't deserve anything. Oh.
It's I
I
like
mean,
at this
the
point.
video I sent you, among all the video that I found,
Mm-hmm.
this one is like this one look like the more like analytical to me because the dude make some good point actually, but it wasn't right at all, but he makes some good points at least.
See the thing is when we talking about when it comes to Matt Ryan is not even dismissing the points that you make. It's just that the context of it is more of an emotional response outside of just the football response.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
when we ask people to come on or you want to talk to somebody about it, okay, we know he doesn't have this type of skill set. Well, the NFL is going to this type of style now, and stuff like that. So we're like, okay, cool, but don't come
Hey,
off as being over emotional about your take.
about football, yeah.
Yeah, don't be so over emotional about your tape because by doing that, you're not going to take in information. It's going to be, well, I said it like this and I said it right. Just like the guy that used to comment on all our videos that used to say facts at in every damn sentence and didn't know what the hell he was talking about.
I know you're talking about.
See,
Oh
this
my
is the deal
god!
now. When it comes to mobile quarterback, this is the deal now.
Right.
See, okay, everybody keeps saying that the game is changing. Okay, the game is changing, but you got all these mobile quarterback who running up and down the field, stuff like that. But one day, defense gonna figure them out. Lamar Jackson won't be able to run like that in a couple years.
He ain't. He getting hurt.
No.
One,
Bruh, these folks, I'm about to say that the issue is, can you adjust your game to the NFL? Because the NFL is going to adjust to you.
yeah, but there's two reasons that Lamar Jackson won't be able to run like that in like 2 or 3 years. One, his body, okay? Two, defense is getting better. Defense is getting faster now. Defense is finding a way to stop mobile quarterbacks. He won't be able to doing that. See, last year you saw improvement in his passing game.
Let me ask y'all a question on that. Why haven't Baltimore gave him his money? Why ain't gave him his contract yet?
I see.
Second
I
guess
don't understand. I honestly am not sure because I'm gonna keep it full 100 with you. There are some teams that I know about. The Baltimore Ravens, I know not that much about, but I can tell you a few stuff. I can tell you that from a whole bunch of sources that I've heard that Lamar Jackson isn't really the problem. It's more of Greg Roman. And not that he's bad per se, but he can draw up a lot of good run concepts, a lot of things that are improvisational, so it's really hard for you to predict what's really going to happen, even though they run like the same 4 concepts over and over again. The problem is in passing.
Real quick. I got a question for you real quick. Sorry about that, but I have to say this. If Greg Roman is the problem, why haven't they gave him his contract? So if Lamar really is that good, why haven't they given him the money? They have to have some reasoning behind. It's like, all right, it's like Julio Jones. It's like Tony Gonzalez. You would never piss them off on purpose by not giving them their money.
Right.
You would never say, Aaron Donald, we're gonna wait to piss you off to give you your money. Why would an organization purposely not give Lamar what he wants? If he is that guy, if he is the face of that franchise, if he is that damn good, why would the organization wait and make him plead his case to give him that money? That's the question that I have for everybody.
Okay.
Go ahead. No, I was about to say, because the reason why we say that is, and like you said, that is a point. That is a point to be made about Lamar. They haven't put the weapons around him. I mean, if you look at who he's throwing to, like I said, he's literally throwing to absolute nobody. As Falcon fans, we've seen what happened with Matt Ryan this year when you throw to absolutely nobody but a tight end. But my bad. But the issue comes down to it as well is this is the same case that you can make about Josh Allen. Josh Allen hasn't won an MVP.
But he has played at MVP level, like for the most of the year he was in the NFL. He played like MVP.
Like, I'm gonna be honest, the way he finished off this season, that was MVP like stuff. Like, because mind you, when I do my scouting reports, right, I look at every option for me to think of to stop these quarterbacks. Right. Brett Coleman, he's a fellow YouTuber. I watched one of his videos, but before I watched his videos, I already had an idea of what I thought could work to stop what's Josh Allen, which was like cover one robber and just make sure he doesn't get out of the pocket or something like that. Like, just make sure you watch the run game, make sure you don't let him get out of the pocket. Just try to do your best, and then make sure like you pass off your routes to the robber, and you'll be good. Right. New England tried this, and you saw what happened in the wild card game. That's all I'm gonna say. That's all I'm gonna say. Like, this dude is insane. Okay, now what I do want to say, because KStylzz touched on this, with Lamar, honestly, they probably haven't gave him his money for a lot of reasons. More so, maybe because they're thinking about moving in a different direction, but also they may not give him his money because maybe they're still negotiating and they're trying to still build around him, like KStylzz said. Last year they had drafted a wide receiver who I think did okay in his rookie year. They're trying to build weapons around him. They understand that the offensive line isn't doing that well. They've been trying to boost that too. I think they're just trying to like get better and better, and that's why they haven't paid him yet. But you are right. It is a question mark.
Why do you have to not give him his money in order to do that? That's the question. Everybody keep talking about what Baltimore doesn't have. It's not about what everybody else. Why, if Lamar Jackson is that guy, if he's Michael Jordan, if he's Kobe Bryant, if he's Shaquille O'Neal, if he's those guys, you don't wait.
Okay.
Piss those guys off purposely because you want to give him more weapons. You know they are that good. You don't have to look for Michael Jordan or Trey Young. You don't have to wait 2-3 years to decide, okay, this damn guy's off the fucking chain.
Right.
I'm gonna get like soon as this contract ready, that bitch is gonna be signed, sealed, delivered. Oh yeah, that motherfucker gonna be signed. Look, that's my thing. Why isn't that when we had negotiate when we're talking about Aaron Rodgers, Matt Ryan, Matthew Stafford, they didn't have to wait 2-3 seasons and like right before free agency. It should have been announced soon as the season ends. That contract should have been announced. Why is it that? This is the thing I'm talking about. You don't wait to piss guys off or negotiate for 6 months after his shit. Like I said, it should have been delivered to him as soon as the season ended. He's Lamar Jackson. He's an MVP quarterback.
Let me respond.
Why? That's the question I'm talking about. Why hasn't that? Something that you guys see in his game because it's not about everybody else. Because if they feel like he is that guy, they're going to put the weapons around him. That's an automatic.
They did. Let me respond to that. They did put the weapon around him. The thing is, if Lamar Jackson signed a contract this year, most likely he's gonna be the highest paid NFL player, right? So you're Lamar Jackson and you're the highest paid NFL player, right? You're the highest paid player, right? And then you sign a contract of 50, 55 million, 60 millions, whatever it is. You sign a contract, you keep running like that, and then you get hurt.
Well,
Imagine
then
what happened. Imagine what happened.
Well, then, if that's the case, right there, then you might have to bring in a guy that can not only help Lamar develop into that better quarterback, but put him in a system to where he doesn't have to take those necessary hits.
Yeah, this is why last year you saw late in the season you saw improvement in his passing game.
Yeah, that's why. Then this is what we talk about. Then this is why we talk about the mobile. Well. And I'm gonna say now, let me put this distinction because I don't know if anybody noticed how this thing goes. When it goes with the black quarterbacks, it's always he's a mobile quarterback. But when it comes to the white quarterbacks that got mobility, they call him a quarterback with mobility. Have y'all noticed? Have you noticed that?
It's a stereotype.
Just for the highlight.
They call him a dual threat. He's not a mobile quarterback. He's not a running quarterback. He's a dual threat.
Yeah, exactly. Stereotypically, a lot of the pocket quarterbacks that you think of, or quarterbacks in general, are Caucasian. And a lot of the running quarterbacks, those that are mostly known for the fact that they run the ball, or maybe have had schemes where it's predicated on running the ball, are those of African American descent. And so it's just a stereotype, and it's possible that a lot of Caucasians get training from pockets or surveying the pocket first, and then start going into running the quarterback. But that's more of like a stereotype too.
Yeah.
So honestly, I don't hold much stock into those labels. It's always the eye test. When you're just looking at a prospect in general and you don't know much about them, you have like credible sources, like real credible sources, not just the NFL.com or whatever, and you look up and you see whatever stuff that they got written down that may or may not be accurate or whatever. You got sources like, I don't know, the Draft Network that constantly updates their stuff. You got YouTube channels out here that literally post nothing but draft content. Like, you have a whole bunch of resources at your disposal to like eliminate all these stereotypes. There are times where before I got deep inside of football, I was relying on those stereotypes. Anytime a team broke those stereotypes, I was like, no, that can't be. But you just have to learn more about the game. Every single day you will get shocked. So.
Right. And Tony right here said they did put weapons around the Baltimore.
I said that.
Marquise Brown. Hold on. Marquise Brown in the first round a couple years ago. Then they drafted Rashad Bateman in the first round 2021. Marquise Brown is not a wide receiver that you would use as a number one in Baltimore.
Yeah.
I hate to say it, but yep, that's true.
Mm-hmm. Because like I said, if you want Lamar, if Lamar Jackson has a chance to progress into a quarterback, they're going to have to evolve that system somewhere to where he can start taking more of those passes. And they need wide receivers that can help him do that. That's why we praise Arthur Smith and his type of offense, because he needs those bigger type wide receivers that can catch the ball in traffic.
That's exactly what he needs in Baltimore. He needs bigger, more physical receivers, because when he gets on the outside, a lot of those small guys like Marquise is just not going to be any help for him. They just gonna push little Marquise. And no disrespect to Marquise, they gonna push his little ass to the side, get out my way, and they gonna knock him Lamar Jackson out. And he's been getting hit way too many times, and that's the issue.
Right. And you know what's crazy? Like, God forbid if an offensive coordinator who came from the Shanahan, Sean McVay, Arthur Smith, Zach Taylor scheme went to Baltimore. Like, you would see insane. Like, first of all, Lamar Jackson wouldn't be the sole person running the ball, even though he would definitely get a lot of carries, which makes this offense dangerous because now you have a real threat of play action, which makes stuff easier on Lamar Jackson. And then you can go out to spread, which Lamar Jackson has shown that he can do well in with a competent, or sorry, no disrespect, a good offensive or passing game specialist. And that's what Lamar Jackson needs, or at least that is what they can make them.
The problem is with what you said. The problem is the system. The problem is the system. You know what the system is? What they primarily run there?
Yeah.
Those three magic letters.
RPO.
And when you have an RPO with a quarterback who likes to run, they're going to run. Even if the play is designed to hand the ball off to the running back, if Lamar sees any sign of daylight, he's going to take that bitch away from the running back and he's going to take off himself. That's the issue. If they want to get the best out of Lamar, they got to turn it to a true West Coast system where they're going to throw short passes so he can do his thing. It has to be in a system like similar to Kyle Shanahan. That's the only way you're going to get the best out of him. This RPO shit is he's his own worst enemy. Lamar is his own worst enemy in this system. So if they want to get the most out of him, Lamar has to understand that this system is actually holding him back from becoming a top quarterback. But until he understands that he needs to get out of that RPO, because the RPO is a run pass option that the quarterback has to make that decision. Not the running back, not the wide receivers. It's all on the quarterback. So the reason why he's running so much is because he's making that decision. So until he understands that he needs to throw the ball more and run less, Baltimore cannot do anything. Baltimore's not going to be able to do anything.
Yep, and
you can put all the weapons all you want around him, but if he continues to hold the ball to take the ball back and run, it's not on the receivers, it's not on the coaches, it's not on any of it. It's all on Lamar Jackson.
Yeah. And I thought that I should also mention that Lamar is not the only team, or the Baltimore is not the only team that runs the system, or at least, that runs the system. Now I think that this system is gonna grow out, just die out. But the other team that runs the system, and they had the number one rushing yards this season, was the Philadelphia Eagles, because they have Jalen Hurts. And if I'm being quite honest, I think that they should maybe start considering looking in a different direction. Not because I think that Jalen Hurts is bad, but he hasn't shown yet that he's really that passer. He hasn't shown the fact that he's up there when it comes to his passing ability. He shows the fact that he can really break tackles and really be used as an extreme threat in the run game, which I give mad respect to him for. But the O-line is really what's helping him out when it comes to this passing scheme, and the fact that they have the run threat to build off of that, the play action and stuff. It's not necessarily him growing as a pure passer yet. And I think that they could still run with him and just hope that this transformation comes with Lamar, but like Lamar. But I don't know. I'm not with it.
Let me say this real quick, and this is no disrespect to anybody. All right, just because guys get MVP and he has a terrific year doesn't mean he's an excellent quarterback. There's been plenty of quarterbacks that have had one MVPs. There's been plenty of running backs and receivers that had one great year and then you never see them again. Just because he's had 3 or 4 years of great total offense. He's one of the, if you're talking about a quarterback that had total a great complete year as far as his running and passing, that's Lamar. But Lamar has not improved as a quarterback. He's still the same guy that he was, and then the NFL catches up to what he's doing, and he has to adjust. Lamar hasn't adjusted. He's still the exact same guy. Defenses catch up.
I think the point is trying to prevent players or talk about trying to prevent players from totally regressing. Yes, we know that Lamar Jackson had some good years, but it's like going forward, they didn't let the DC go, and they saying it's Greg Roman, but Greg Roman, the same guy that got him to that MVP.
About the sophomore,
so, what's the problem, really?
Jason Roberts, NFL.com's Pat Kerwin. Glad to be with you here on the NFL Insider. And Pat, when you look at these two guys you talked about.
Oh, I'm about to say we about to get some inside scoop back there or something.
My bad.
All right, but yeah, and this is why I was saying as far as like that quarterback position like that, like with Lamar, this is why we kind of advocate for guys to use their arms more, that you use the play the position of quarterback.
Hold on. I'm sorry. This is the same stuff. This is the same thing with Steve Young. I apologize. We keep talking about, you hard on black quarterbacks. Steve Young had the same stigma on him. He was a running white boy. This ain't got nothing to do with him. They ain't got nothing to be him doing with black quarterback. Oh, you hard on the black man. You the black. It's about the game. Steve Young, Rundle Cunningham had the same. You got Steve Young. You had
Doug Flutie.
All those guys. They had the same stigma on them. No white boys. Ain't got nothing to do with it. Doug Flutie stopped running around, and he learned how to throw the ball. Rundle Cunningham, when he first came into the league, he was running around. He stopped that and became a quarterback. It has nothing to do about keeping the black man down. You got to learn how to be a quarterback. You can use your legs like Steve Young did early in his career. That's why his ass got cut from Tampa Bay and went to San Francisco. They taught him how to be a quarterback. And then he uses legs to be a better all-around player. And that's what Lamar has not done. He hasn't used his arm to be a great all-around player.
Someone say that Frank Tarkenton wasn't that mobile. It was because back then quarterback wasn't used to run and scramble around. If Frank Tarkenton play in this game today, or Frank Tarkenton will not be a mobile quarterback at all.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but the example that I use, the perfect example everybody fails to mention is like you said, look at Russell Wilson. I mean, Russell Wilson was one of those guys that was running around at first. But if you saw later in his career, the rushing attempts started getting less and less because he was starting to take those hits. Like I said, at the end of the day, it's not about, and then this goes back again when we talking about the racial stigma of the quarterback. Nobody, like I said, this is why, like when we talk about black quarterback, white quarterbacks, I love to say, well, of course, we're gonna see the color. I ain't gonna say I don't see color. But what the issue is, like, these systems want these quarterbacks to run the ball, because if they're not building the team to where he can pass it, or giving him the mindset to where, okay, I need to calm this down. I'm taking too many hits. Give me an offensive line or something. Give me a system to where, okay, 2-step, boom, get it out my hand. And Michael Walker here said the perfect example. Hold on. He had a perfect example here. Vic had to learn how to play the quarterback position when he got with Andy Reid. And you saw a big difference.
We're not talking about skin color when we talk about the position, man. We're talking about what it takes to play the position. It doesn't matter what skin color it is. Right. Examples like if we talking about wide receiver, it don't matter if you can run fast. Can you catch the ball? You can run fast and be a gazelle, but if you can't catch the ball, then why are you playing wide receiver? Stuff like that. We're talking about individual things it takes to play certain positions.
And I mean, I learned this because I live in DC, so RG3 was a thing, right? You have the RG3 debate. A whole bunch of people have all their input about what they have to say about RG3, but it's seeming like the real thing was the scheme. For example, the first season where everyone knows about RG3 going off, they had what's his name, Mike Shanahan, right, coaching the team.
Right.
They built a heavy what's it called? Those read options, the read option scheme, and then built a whole bunch of play actions off of it, so you didn't know what it was. Sound familiar? Arthur Smith. But they basically built that scheme. No one could really stop it. They were trying to adjust on the fly, but they weren't really stopping it. But then injuries started to creep up on him. So then he became less explosive. And then he had to start learning how to pass more, because I think, if I'm not mistaken, Mike Shanahan got out of there eventually.
Right.
So he had to learn how to pass. And he wasn't there. Not to say that he's a terrible quarterback, but he wasn't like there, and that's why you see him. That's why you saw him on the Ravens. He's kind of still learning the quarterback position along with Lamar Jackson still over there. Even though I know he's not over there anymore, but he was probably still learning the quarterback position while they were learning the same scheme.
Question. Yeah, I'm gonna let Trey talk after I get this question. So, do you think? Okay, so since we're on this subject, as far as when we're talking about these quarterbacks like this, do you think it's more so of the team seeing the athleticism, seeing the speed, and it's one of those issues of they fall in love with it, and then they're going to depend their whole offense on it, instead of trying to build up the guy to be a better quarterback?
So with the era that we're in right now, right? What teams value, right? They do value physical traits, but that's not to say that they don't value polish. What they are now noticing, though, is that they notice that some things like polish that isn't everything exactly. For example, Sam Darnold and Josh Rosen are two prime examples of that. They went to very bad situations and now are considered as bust. And they didn't even have a chance to develop, really, because they didn't have anything. Like, Josh Rosen went to Carolina, didn't have a wide receiving core, defense, or O-line at all. And then Sam Darnold had Adam Gase. That's really all I need to say. So now they're understanding that if I take someone that's slightly raw, but I build a system around them, I could maybe come out with, I don't know, Patrick Mahomes. That sounds familiar, with Andy Reid and his system. He's literally the person that was one of the founders of Air Raid. So him bringing a strong arm quarterback that can throw 1,000,000 feet in the air and be mentored under a conservative, quick decision quarterback, even though Mahomes was already kind of polished in that aspect, and then bring Tyreek Hill to match with it and Travis Kelce. I mean, that's just a match made in heaven. So what teams are starting to realize now is, yeah, these quarterbacks are good. They are good. Even if they are a little bit raw, they are still valuable. However, I do need to mask their deficiencies, meaning that I need to at least have a run game. I need to have some play action to build off of it while I stall and try to make an offensive line, or while I stall to make a good defense or something. Because you can't just come up and expect a quarterback to carry your team with no running back, no O-line, and no wide receivers. Like, Zach Wilson is over here fighting for his life because he don't really have an O-line, and they can't really run the ball to the best of their ability. And it's predicated on a play-action system, meaning that you have to run the ball, but they need an O-line to do that. So Zach Wilson, I think, is going to get better. Even this year, he did pretty good in my standards, but I think that he didn't show off his talent more so because of the other people around him. Not to say that his mistakes were solely on the other people around him, but he could have showed off more if he had more weapons.
All right, Trey, what's going on, man?
Trey.
Trey Deuce, man. What you got? What you got for us, man?
So since we're on this little quarterback I guess situation right here, what I will say though, to be honest, if you're going to draft a quarterback this year, I don't expect it to be high. Probably somewhere in that fourth or fifth round range, just because of what Arthur and Terry, specifically Terry said in that last interview. You want to build the team up first before you actually grab a quarterback. And like Alex stated, guys like Zach Wilson and Josh Rosen and Trevor, not Trevor Lawrence, but Sam Darnold are starting to look like busts because they're in terrible situations. And their team was nowhere near built when they were drafted and isn't really getting built right now at the moment, and it's not helping them whatsoever. So for me, if you're going to draft a quarterback or if you're thinking about quarterbacks right now, I think the best situation to put them is in like you're a couple of guys away from a Super Bowl before you draft a quarterback. Because what we're seeing most teams do now is they're rebuilding, but they have terrible rosters. But they draft the quarterback and then start them and then just dump them in the fire. And most of the time it doesn't work because you didn't teach them well enough. Maybe the scheme wasn't good enough. We've seen it with guys. Scheme. I don't really care what you say about any quarterback. Scheme is really the number one thing when it comes to it. Malik Willis is probably going to need a Patrick Mahomes type scheme because at Liberty, they take their shots, they pass the ball, they don't really run the ball like that. They just let him go out there and run and gun it. So, to be honest, like I said, if you're going to draft a quarterback, one, you need the right scheme for it. You don't just draft the best guy because he's the best guy, because he may not fit your scheme whatsoever. Two, you need to have the team at least 80 to 85% built, because if you don't, it's just going to end up in failure right there. And three, I think you need to put not just confidence in him, but make him have a veteran that he can learn from. And by a veteran, I mean like a guy that's had success. He may not be at a Matt Ryan, Drew Brees, Tom Brady, Aaron Rodgers type level, but a veteran that's at least started a couple of years that can help him with his mistakes. And then I think if you do that, you're pretty much setting your future up for the greatness.
Oh. Can I?
Go ahead, man.
Since you're talking about quarterbacks, see, I ain't got much to say. But I can say this though, because I don't like them motherfuckers. I don't like them motherfuckers.
Whispering and shit. What the hell are you whispering for?
I don't like them motherfuckers because any quarterback can be good as long as you put the weapons around him, O-line, and play calling. If you don't have those three, if you're a quarterback, I don't care who you are, you number one overall pick, I don't give a fuck who you are. If you don't have those two, you're not gonna succeed.
I mean that's a good point right there.
My perfect example, KStylzz, 2017.
Oh,
The dude was undrafted. He had an O-line, weapon. See how good he looked back in 2017.
it should also be noted that he came from the Cliff Kingsbury system, if I'm not mistaken, where they kind of have that air raid system too. And I'm quite sure that he probably did have a pretty decent O-line while he was there. If not, the system was enough to do some damage in college. But I just also wanted to point out, honestly, there's no real reason why I'm pointing this out. I just thought I wanted to mention it. Malik Willis, while at Liberty, was able to make some had full reign of protection calls, and Trey Lance also was able to do that last year with North Dakota State. And there's no real reason why I'm pointing that out. I just like it when quarterbacks are able to take control of the offensive line as well. That just shows a lot of maturity and confidence in the head coach, and also it's a valuable asset that I don't think a lot of people talk about. But that's it. That's it, really.
Okay,
right.
We Malik Willis don't worth the number 8 pick because we have too many things to fix. We only have 7. I can guarantee that we only have 7 players on this team that's gonna be. I can guarantee that's gonna be on this team next season. We don't even know if my ain't gonna make it next season. We don't even know if Goody Joy gonna be there next season. We don't even know if Dion just gonna be there next season. We have too many holes to fix before we get to quarterback.
And let me say this real quick. This is exactly what we're talking about. All right, let me just break it down for you real quick. We talk about when you talk about the position of quarterback. A lot of people are ignorant on the fact of what their job is. Okay, you got to understand what their job is. First and foremost, you got to understand what the hell is going on with the playbook. How can you throw the ball if you don't know what a receiver is supposed to be? How can you hand the ball off? How can you audible? How can you know what the defense is trying to do to you? When the linebacker is going to the right and then he's trying to bait you. Like, if you don't understand these concepts from a quarterback standpoint, first and foremost, this is what me and KStylzz did. I wish I had those that picture that we had. And then one of the reasons why I don't like the RPO and I don't like the college system is because you look to the sideline, all you see is pictures of fucking cartoon characters and shit. Like, what the hell that's supposed to mean? So it's like when we talk about the quarterback, this has nothing to do with his ability to run. All right, I'm seeing all these foolish statements and everybody. Oh, I'm just kidding. No, it's not. You're dead serious. All right. When we talk about quarterback, it's not about his ability to run. It's not about that. It's his ability to focus on everybody's position. Everybody. When you look at Matt Ryan, Peyton Manning, a lot of people, when you saw Peyton Manning saying Omaha, 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 and he's doing this and he's looking this way and he's telling, and he got these hand gestures with Marvin Harrison and Reggie Wayne, you got to understand what those hand gestures are. What is he doing? Why is he doing this type of thing? What is he trying to manipulate the defense? Or he trying to do this to the offense? He got to, like, for one, got to understand the defense. You got to understand what the defense is trying to do. The defense is trying to fool the quarterback. He's trying to get you to understand. Like, he wants Malik to run. They want Russell to run. Why? Because running is not going to kill them. What's going to kill defenses is throwing the ball, consistently throwing the ball. That's what makes Josh Allen so much of a threat. It's not his ability to run. Everybody can run. Okay, I'm gonna tell you this: everybody in the league can run. That's not what sets quarterbacks apart. It ain't got nothing to do with white, black. We see Josh Allen. That dude is an absolute stud as a runner. He ain't black, but guess what made him dangerous? Those throws that he was throwing, I forget the wide receiver, but those throws that he was making to I wish I get a name, but the wide receiver
Davis.
Yeah, I think it was Davis. I think it might be Davis.
The dude, that's what killed people. His arm, his ability to throw the ball. So when we talk about quarterbacks, yes, running is a small part of it, but what sets quarterbacks apart is his ability to throw the ball and not make mistakes. And there's some quarterbacks, they can't understand what the defenses are trying to do to them. Because defenses, you got a guy like Dean Pease, he's not going to allow you to throw the ball deep. All Dean Pease is going to do is play a quarter or cloud coverage and force you to throw the ball underneath. And you got quarterbacks that think they can make every throw, like Jameis Winston, and he gonna throw and take those opportunities. Go ahead, KStylzz.
So what you're telling me is you have to play the position for what is meant. And Bridget said, I guess the black ones can't read defense. Oh, Lord, no, that ain't the point. There's some white ones that can't read shit.
I'll give you Ian Book.
Ryan Leaf, one of them.
Ian Book.
Look, Ryan Leaf was trash. Tim Tebow, garbage. Ian Book can't read a goddamn.
Taysom Hill.
Hey guys,
Taysom Hill
Ian Book
sucks.
threw an interception in his first 2 throws.
talking about Taysom Hill, all right? Remember when Deion Jones intercepted Drew Brees in that Thursday night game? Drew Brees was trying to pass the ball to Taysom Hill.
Exactly. Oh, look. We could
Baker Mayfield too, actually. And I say this.
Oh my God, no! Why you had to say that name? Oh my God, dog! Wow, Tim Council was another guy. Jamarcus. There's so many quarterbacks that can't read. Everybody's so like, you got to get out. At the end of that, we got to get out our damn feelings. Get out your damn feelings, black people. Everything ain't about race, black people.
Mm-hmm.
Okay,
it's rookies. Like first of all rookies have their growing pains. Now, some rookies, right, can just come out and read defenses out the gate. Your Joe Burrows, your
Mac
Patrick
Jones.
Mahomes, kind of. Your Josh Allen. Well, not even Josh Allen, because he had to see all of the coverages to learn them. So like all the guys that are coming out, Matt Flynn, so like you honestly, it's just a process in general. Trying like playing quarterback, you're gonna go through growing pains because the NFL doesn't like stop not creating or trying to figure out how to stop quarterbacks and offenses. But also, while I have y'all, I did want to answer a question that Mad Mike had posted on his channel. He said something about Treylon Burks, or I forget his last. I don't know. Treylon Burks and Drake London. Now, after seeing what Treylon Burks did in the combine.
Yeah, he's a second round pick. I ain't
First of all, he ain't even run 4.3, and I was comparing him to DK Metcalf. That man ran a 4.5, was dropping all the passes, and I was like, oh no. Like, first of all, it's already not that great that he ain't like polished as a route runner, like to my terms yet. And then you're telling me you want me to rock out with a 4.5 speed, and then you may drop some passes. Nah, Chief, I can't do that. Now, granted, I didn't see Drake London. I don't know if Drake London was at the combine. I don't think he was.
He didn't practice. He was there. He just didn't do no. He didn't do the drills.
Yeah,
he hurt still.
Yeah, he's still recovering from that ankle injury he had back in November.
He got what I see from Drake London. I'm gonna keep it 100. When I first saw him, the first thought, I was like, "Oh, that's Mike Evans." And that was the first thing I thought. I saw him like wiggle at the top of his route, and I was like, "Oh, that's Mike Evans." And then I saw him using his hands, and I was like, "Oh, that's Mike Evans." And then I saw him mossing a few people, and I was like, "Oh, that's Mike Evans." And then I saw him breaking some tackles, and I was like, "Oh, that's Mike Evans." And then I saw him blocking. He wasn't even good at it. He was just giving effort, and I was like, "Oh, that's Arthur Smith. That's what he want." Like I may have said this a lot over the course of me scouting, but Drake London, outside of Jameson Williams, was my favorite wide receiver prospect this entire year. The entire year.
Hey! I'm about to say, I sent Mike a short of what I saw. They had Drake London in high school basketball slam dunk contest. This dude did a 540 dunk. I said, yeah,
he did.
540.
Oh, he's insane. Nah, okay, no, he's insane. No, yeah. Oh no, yeah. Oh, absolutely not. Oh, yeah. Goodness gracious. Goodness gracious.
Now, if you look at the history, USC has a history of having good wide receivers. As much as people don't like Juju is a good wide receiver. Juju can run routes. Juju catch the balls in traffic. It's a lot of other ones you can name that are from USC. They kind of sort of have a reputation of having good wide receivers.
Big body.
Outside of JJ Arcega-Whiteside right now.
Yeah, that's the only thing. But I think the thing a lot of people are I think that pulled a lot of people away from Drake at the first when he got hurt because he was unanimously the number one receiver in college because I was covering it in a long time. He was the number one wide receiver this year. He broke his ankle. Of course, that dropped his stock. But mind you, I think they said he's going to perform in his pro day. He's going to do all the drills at Pro Day. So, yeah, hopefully Treylon Burks. I mean, really the only difference, the thing between those two is that Treylon has to run a better 40, and he has to actually catch the damn ball. He has to. He'll catch the damn ball. You're gonna go to the second round.
Right.
No, I think he's a lock to go to the second round after that. I'm not gonna lie to you.
Yeah. If Treylon Burks shows me that he can run somewhere in the 4.3s, I'll spend that pick. Like, cause like.
I don't give a damn about that 40, boy. Them drop passes had me laughing. Bro. I was like, God.
It wasn't like there was like passes that was like you had to kind of Julio Jones it either, Devontae Adams. It was like it was literally like on the money, right on him.
The concentration drops.
Yeah, concentration drops. And to be honest, he looked like Jalen Reagor out there, dude.
He
know how Jalen Reagor is.
Yeah. All right, my bad. Hey, let me name some quarterbacks for you right quick and tell me if they knew how to read defenses here.
Oh no.
I knew you were gonna get carried away with this.
Oh yeah, I'm gonna get carried away with this. I'm just throwing random names out here. Kevin Cobb. Do anybody remember that?
No.
Nope. Who the hell is this?
Yeah, I remember.
He was the one that
Michael Vick next Jesus. Drew Brees. He's supposed to be Jesus. What?
And Michael Vick came in and took that man's spot. And ran away with it. Okay, let's see. We got some more names. Let's look at these names. Let's see. Joey Harrington. Do anybody remember?
Yeah, I remember him. Yeah.
Do anybody remember that name?
I remember.
07. Had a great college career, but 07 turned out to be
Patrick Ramsey. I don't know if anybody remember that garbage.
Jalen Ramsey dead.
Not Jalen. Not Jalen. No.
Is it Jalen Ramsey dead?
No. No. We're doing specifically. No. He was a quarterback that Washington drafted back in. Let me look at it.
I remember Chris Redmond.
I'm saying 03, 04 or something.
Yeah,
I do remember Chris Redmond.
I'm just naming quarterbacks that couldn't read defenses, and that was absolute terrible at the position. Sam Bradford. Everybody know about that. The last number one overall pick to get almost $100 million as a rookie. Yeah, that didn't work. Colt
that
McCoy
was crazy too. Yeah,
that was crazy.
And somehow Colt McCoy still got a job.
Colt McCoy, Kellen Clemens, Charlie Whitehurst. I remember these were supposed to be the names that came out of college at that time. Ooh.
Guys from the 2000s.
Oh yeah, I don't know none of. Yeah.
This is what
KStylzz, you lost me. I don't know any of.
Most of these guys got drafted in the early 2000s and stuff like that.
Oh yeah.
Everybody talking about how sorry Drew Lock ass is.
Did he just said Jay Cutler?
Jay Cutler wasn't shit neither. He really was.
That man said Jack Trudeau. Man, don't nobody remember that. I don't even remember that.
I'm like, who the hell is that?
Yeah, that's one of them man made up names.
And that's one of them 39 overall quarterbacks in the game. Nobody knows.
Right.
Oh God. Devontae came with Brandon Whedon.
I remember Brandon Whedon.
As we all know, Tim Tebow.
Brady Queen.
The Jacksonville Jaguars.
Hold on. I'm gonna explain it. Okay.
Patrick Ramsey. Yeah.
He was a quarterback. I think he went to Tulane. Either he went to Tulane or Iowa, one of those damn schools. He was drafted to be the franchise quarterback for the now Washington Commanders back then. And he lost his job. He lost his job to an old ass Mark Brunell.
I don't remember who Mark Brunell is.
Yeah.
Jared Stidham. Yep, that's true. Oh, what's his name? Patrick Lynch. Patrick. Peyton Lynch or something like that. I don't know.
Paxton Lynch.
Paxton Lynch. Yeah.
Yeah, these are like the reason why a lot of people don't really say these names is because they don't stand out.
Bro, this is why I don't get too high.
This was supposed to be the white. I don't know. He was supposed to be the damn white Michael Vick. The way they was that dude like, he had a big arm. He could run. And that dude can't even stay in the CFL.
Yeah, they had him. You remember what they did when he got drafted? They were like hyping him up as a 31st pick. Like everyone was getting like so happy and so excited. And I was like,
this is why I don't get too hyped up.
Y'all hyping him like he was the next Peyton Manning. I was like, what in the world?
I got some recent names we could throw in there. Josh said one of them, Blaine Gabbert. Anybody remember that hot garbage that happened?
The new Bucs starting quarterback probably next year.
Do anybody remember this name right here? You see Jared Goff's trash ass out there. He can't throw the ball.
That's true. Post snap.
He can't throw the ball without a running game.
Mitch Trubisky.
Trubisky indeed. Wait a minute. Hold on. No. Oh no. We're not about to skip past and just act like we didn't just say Mitch Trubisky. Oh, absolutely not.
Oh no, Mitch Trubisky.
That man.
Dwayne Haskins.
I have seen few people that cannot read a defense worse than him.
Oh,
like
God.
That was bad. Like
Deshaun Kaiser. That's another one that was.
Deshaun Kaiser.
Oh man, that guy.
Mariota, he was in the 2014 draft, right?
Mm-hmm.
Man, if he was in a different era, he probably would have. He probably would have been a good quarterback. I'm not even gonna lie.
Exactly. Blake Bortles is another one.
Oh, don't please. No, that's a trigger word. That's a trigger word.
The only good thing Blake Bortles can say is that he led a team to a AFC Championship game.
And in a game where he ran for more yards than he threw. Ryan Tannehill is another one. Yes, I said that. Ryan Tannehill.
He sucked last year. I'm not even gonna lie. He really got carried by Derrick Henry, man.
Yes,
you can tell. You can tell someone
that had that big arm, and people could. He could run, but he couldn't throw worth a shit.
Hey, look, Isaac Krause just got the theme of it.
Most of these quarterbacks were hyped up by Mel Kiper.
Hell yeah.
Yep. Jimmy Carson was supposed to be something big too. By Mel Kiper.
Yeah, Mel Kiper said he said he was going to retire if Jimmy Clausen wasn't a Hall of Famer.
Mel Kiper said Blake Bortles was a future top 5 quarterback.
This is why you should never get hyped up for the draft, because a good 80 to 90% of these players gonna turn out bust. Okay,
I won't say that, but I'll say, like, you just gotta be careful. Like, you gotta understand. It's kind of like, in a way, like understanding stocks when you're talking about quarterbacks. You gotta like understand what the market's looking like, what the NFL is trending to, what type of defenses and what type of resources does your team have in order to draft a quarterback. It's kind of like stocks. You kind of like have to pay a lot of attention when it comes to these QBs and whether or not it's a whole interview. Like for other positions, if you want to maximize it, you would probably do the same, but you can maybe like take some leniency. But for quarterbacks, you can't mess up.
I mean, it's looking at one right now, and Jordan Love. Like, we don't know what the hell he's gonna be. That's another black quarterback.
And that was a Mel Kiper hype pick, and then this is what we talking about. We got a Mel Kiper, and look, oh God, he just brought up a name too. I was like, you talking about somebody that was absolute garbage?
Christian Ponder. I remember him,
dude. This Ponder the top,
dude, bro. Bro, how bro? He had it made in Minnesota. You had Adrian Peterson running for damn near 1,700 yards a season. Nigga, bro, he was literally playing against 9-man fronts, and this dude couldn't read a blitz to save his life. I said, "Wow, dude."
Hey, who was?
But he should have never got drafted that high in the first place. I was shocked that he did, but.
I got another name. Brian Osweiler or whatever his name is.
Brock Osweiler.
Yeah, Brock Osweiler. Yeah, when I watched him, when I used to like watch a little bit of Denver games, like literally I got exhausted. Like I physically like my body physically got exhausted from just hearing the name. He threw another interception. Like I couldn't bear it anymore. I really couldn't. I was like, he has to be the most average of suckiest quarterbacks I've ever seen in my entire life. That name is another trigger word for me.
Hey, who was the quarterback that started against us for the Lions back last year?
I don't know who the hell that was. That was I forgot his name. He's a nobody. Nobody knows his name.
What?
He was a third round pick, but he threw in his college career. He threw more interceptions than touchdowns, and got selected in like the second or third round, I think.
It's only 32 teams in the NFL.
Oh my god!
It's only one starting quarterback per team, and you got 10 quarterbacks getting drafted every year. That don't make no sense.
No,
Tim Boyle.
That's the standard though, because you have to look at it. This is why we say that drafting a quarterback is really a crapshoot when you think about it. It's a low probability of hitting on somebody. You have to make sure that you are on the good end of that, because like I said, it's 113. What did it say? 113 quarterbacks drafted in the last
10 years,
15, 20, last 10 years. Really, you can only name 12 of them that's been successful.
Oh, speaking of which, I got another statistic for you. Again, I'm gonna reference Brett Coleman on this. He said out of the 33, 31, somewhere around that range, 33, 30 quarterbacks that were drafted in, I think, the last decade or something like that. Not in the last decade, but like I don't know, something along those lines.
I mean, that's all this.
Only 10 of them were like considered like, boom prospects. And when he says this, he's actually stretching when he says it. It's like he's stretching one of those 10. Like he's factoring, I think, Carson Wentz into there and Baker Mayfield into there. And he was like, just so I can pull some strings, I'll say that there's 10. So that means that there's like a 33% chance that you're gonna like get a bust prospect. But again, it's not necessarily on the player. It's more so about what you have built around the player. So
and this has been what we have been saying for the last 3 years. We've been doing it.
I got this for everybody. How many good quarterbacks have the Falcons had in the 66 years or something like that?
5.
Do I need to go down that list? Do I need to go down that list again?
No, don't do that. No.
I just want to know how many good quarterbacks can y'all say that the Falcons have had?
Okay, let me name
3 to 4
years and 60-some years. And we think we gonna hit on we think we can just hit on quarterbacks.
I'm gonna be honest, I haven't been a Falcons fan for like that long because I'm young, so I can only name 2 quarterbacks. So
I can name 3 to 4. Steve Burkowski,
Chris Schindler.
Yeah, Mike Vick and Matt Ryan.
Yeah, that's basically it for me.
I can only name Mike Vick and Matt Ryan.
You can throw a fifth in there and Matt Sharp. You can throw Matt Sharp in there, but that's really.
Nah, I can't really throw Matt Sharp in there because he didn't really play.
He's still a good quarterback.
Matt Sharp. He got drafted.
Even when he was here, he still played well.
He got drafted.
That work in Houston, though.
He got drafted by the Falcons.
And then he ended his career with the Falcons. I got mad respect from that squad.
Hey, look. Kim McQuilkin threw 4 touchdown passes and 29 interceptions in his career. Kim McQuilkin.
Who is that, bro?
Let's look.
He said then he became the vice president
He
of
became
Cartoon
the
Network.
executive.
What?
He became executive VP of Cartoon Network. Hold on, wait a minute.
Man, I don't believe that. Ghost Family, you need to quit your stuff.
Hold on. I'm finna look it up right now. Former football player. Let's see, Allentown.
He right though. That's true.
Yeah, he right.
Cartoon
He
Network.
got drafted by the Falcons.
Yep.
He
got-
said Cartoon Network.
Yeah, he's right. He's right. He's the executive VP for Cartoon Network now.
He got drafted by the Falcons in 1974.
Yep. With a
Hell,
39%.
no, we suck. We got his ass at quarterback.
No, look, bro. I got the breakdowns of it too. For his 4 years as an Atlanta Falcon,
My God.
he was 2-5 in 7 games.
Well, which game did he throw the most interceptions in?
I don't know. I know 1 year. No. His rookie year, he threw 0, but he was a backup because he only played like 2 games. But he threw 0 touchdowns and 9 interceptions on 43% completion percentage.
Bro, that's almost 5
He
interceptions
got-
per game.
His passer rating is 17.9. Passer
career,
rating.
his career completion percentage is 39%.
Oh my gosh.
You say he threw 9 interceptions in 7 games?
No, he threw 9 interceptions in 2 games.
Oh,
Ooh.
Wow.
so basically he threw.
Wait,
so
2 games?
He averaged throwing almost 5 interceptions a game for his career.
Now
Exactly.
he's
Hold.
the MVP.
So
Yeah.
basically, what you're saying
That might
is
be worse than Nathan Peterman
Boy,
or
that
whatever
way-
that name is.
Bruh. 1976. He
That's
started
crazy.
3 games for the Atlanta Falcons. He had a 1-2 record. He had at a total of 450 passing yards. Because you got to remember, around this time, they wasn't really passing the ball at high numbers like that. So they was averaging right around like 170 to 200. But in 3 games, he had 450 yards, 2 touchdowns, and 10 interceptions on 39% completion percentage.
So basically, he threw about the stat lines for each week could be about 3 or 4, basically
Right.
4,
Yeah.
3.
Right.
Basically, that man was throwing mid the whole game, bro.
Yeah,
Man, he
yeah,
was,
basically.
he wasn't even throwing mid, bro. He was throwing absolute dirt out there, bro.
So basically, the thing is too. Also, he basically threw a pick every quarter.
Yeah, cause he said, cause this is one thing I always look at: the touchdown and interception percentage. He had a touchdown percentage of 1.5. His interception percentage was 10.7.
Yeah. So he got 20. So 3 games, 12 quarters. So basically, he threw an interception in at least 2 quarters of each game. No, 3 quarters of each game. Or 2.
Damn. We got to break it down in
Shit.
quarters.
I want to give a shout out to Triple G. I see your comment. That might be my new profile name next time I get on StreamYard. Mad McQuilkin Mike.
Oh my God! Well, y'all asses is crazy up here. Yeah. Hey, look, like I said, if y'all want to see how bad the Falcons quarterback in history was, just type in Falcons quarterbacks.
Let me split this before we go. I'm talking about every Falcons fan, all of us. Sometimes we feel like, damn, maybe we'll be better off my own. Way in the back of our head, sometimes we'll be like that. Just keep it away. But at the same time, we know damn well we're gonna be sucked if we let my own go. Way in the back of your head, you be like that sometime too. I know that.
I ain't even gonna lie to you, bro. I don't have that thought in the back of my head. I be thinking, where is the defense and the protection at? That's what I be
You know what I be thinking during the games? I hope, I pray that number 96 don't see that field for goodness sakes and put Anthony Rush in and keep it like that. That's
he don't
all
need
I
to be
hope.
in red and black next year. He needs to be in the black and gold. He can go
But
back with his
like I
first
said,
ring.
Please,
And you see this dude
please.
that I got in my profile picture.
Oh
Yeah,
He
he
my
can
god.
go.
gone
Oh
too.
Yeah, he
no,
can go.
cut him. I'm
Mr.
done.
Limp. Do you want to say it, KStylzz?
That man fumbled.
Mr.
Oh, okay. If y'all don't know why he's saying it like this, we made a comment in one of the seasons. I think it was after the Buffalo game about Mike Davis's how terrible he was running in the game. And I said Mike Davis was that was when Mike was talking about, well, Mike Davis, can you find the hole? Can you find the hole? And I was like, I guess he's running on that lip dick fuel, huh?
bro,
Hey,
you cannot blame Mike Davis like that, bro. We ain't got no line for him to run.
Oh,
Yeah,
Man,
wait a
a
minute. Wait a
wide
minute. Wait a
receiver
minute.
is
Wait a minute.
running at running back is running better than him.
Hold on. Let me break it down.
Cordell Patterson is a wide receiver, and he running
a kick
better as a
returner
running
at
back than
that.
Mike Davis.
Let me
He was
break
a
it
kick
down. Let me
returner
break
at
it down.
Cordell Patterson is a better player than Mike Davis. Period. That explains everything.
Yeah, but let me break it down. Let me break it down. Okay. And Mike KStylzz, y'all know, I was vouching for Mike Davis for literally the entire season up until week 17.
You're a damn fool.
Week 18. Week 18.
You're a fool.
No. Hear me out.
Yeah.
When in week 18, this is where I saw this man have a straight hole, right? A hole that like, oh no, you can't miss it. You can't like say, oh, I'm gonna find a better hole.
Hold on.
No. If you miss this hole, hole and you
Wow.
run the other way, with all due respect, you're probably on drugs. That's like that's
To
how
be
I'm
honest,
feeling.
you're
That
probably
man not
blind,
only
actually.
went against the hole and I think fumbled the ball in that same possession. I was like, oh yeah. Oh nah. We can't have it. I'm sorry. I need sober people on my team. I can't. No, sir. No, sir.
Was it
Alex,
the,
I'm gonna tell
Davis-
you what did it for me. I'm gonna tell you what did it for me, Alex.
Mike
It was
Davis
that
can't even.
Saints. It was the first Saints game, bruh, when we were literally just trying to get in field goal range, and this man fumbled the ball. All you had to do was get down. How do you fumble the ball in
yeah, I
that
ain't gonna lie. I
situation, bro?
was about to
Hold up.
throw my
Mike
remote
Davis.
after that.
Mike Davis could not even find a hole in his woman, bro.
That's what Mike said.
Like that man is the definition of inconsistent. Like he will have decent games where that man will show that he can break off some tackles and show that he's like a mini man that can like, if you touch my chest, I will like Arnold Schwarzenegger you. So like he has moments like that. But then you have moments where you look and then you automatically get hit in the eye and then you turn blind and then you go and start like, I don't know, trying to like walk somewhere to Africa and then leave the hole. Like this is stuff like that.
And then he got moments where he trips
KStylzz.
on the way
KStylzz.
to the touchdown
Mike,
and puts his hands on
hear
his
me
head.
out.
Yeah.
That is.
Hear me out.
I will. You know what? Keep number 96 on the team. Get rid of that.
Excuse me, say what?
I want
Hear me out.
Do what, Alex?
Throw that man.
96 out of
You
Atlanta.
rather keep Tyler Davidson over Mike Davis.
Yes, you want to know why? Because that man don't get no playing time either.
Hey, everybody talking at the same time. Go ahead, Yeezy, man. What you about to say?
Hear me out. When I say that I can guarantee you only 7 Falcons players are gonna be on this team next season. Chris Lindstrom, Kyle Pitts, AJ Terrell, Richie Grant, Jalen Hawkins, and Michael Hawker. That's the only player I can guarantee that's gonna be on this team next year.
You talking about the following this year?
And not following this year. I'm talking about this year. Not following this year. This year.
Damn, motherfucker, everybody gonna be gone. What the hell, dude?
Everybody gonna be gone, man.
That's the whole team. Like
That's
you
the
ain't even
whole
say
team.
Matt
That's what I'm
Ryan.
saying.
You ain't even say
That
Grady
motherfucker ain't gonna
Jerry.
have nobody on the team.
Because you said them the only 7.
Those are the only 7 players I guarantee that's gonna be on this team next year. You don't know about Grady Jerry. You don't know about Matt Ryan. You don't know about those guys, bro. Let's keep it real.
I'm gonna keep it honest. Even if Terry Fontenot was secretly the most Matt Ryan hater in the entire world, if that man traded Matt Ryan,
you better get
someone would have to commit an act of violence against him, because he would put us in a very, very, very bad, very, very, very bad cap space.
Goddamn, you said acts of violence, but we wasn't gonna go that damn far. No, but I say if you're going to do that with Matt Ryan and get rid of it, it's going to have to be something that's going to have to help both teams. Because let me ask y'all a question. I'm gonna ask y'all a question this too, and I've asked this question before. And somebody actually brought the name up earlier about Brock Osweiler. And this is a question that you should ask some fans that would trade Matt Ryan. Would you trade Matt Ryan if you had to give up the 8th overall pick to a team to take on his money?
You can suck my
because of a Miami Dolphins, hell yeah.
So that means you can no. You got to think about this. You got to think about this. Remember the Brock Osweiler thing. Remember the Houston Texans gave him that big ass contract for that half a year he played in Denver, right?
Yeah.
Okay. The Texans did not want him, so they wanted to trade him. The Texans had to give up their biggest pick. Their top pick, because they only had I think their top pick was like the second round pick that year. They had to give up that second round pick and money compensation and some other draft picks to Cleveland in order to get rid of that contract. So what you're telling me is, so with all the guys that you can get at 8, would you give up that 8th overall pick? That means you can't get a guy like a Jermaine Johnson or anybody around. Would you give up your first round pick and Matt Ryan? Give up your first round pick and maybe one of your third round pick and some money to a team to take on Matt Ryan's contract if you traded him?
So would that leave us in terms of cap space? Do we now, but by trading Matt Ryan, will we have more cap space?
Hell nah, boy.
Hell nah, I'm not trading him. Hell nah.
See, but the thing is, you can get no. The thing is, you can get a team to take his money, but the problem is it's going to have to be a team that not only has the draft capital to take on his contract, but you're going to have to give up something that's going to entice people to do it.
Okay, will that free our money and cap space?
It will free some of it, but it's not going to free all of it.
How much?
Let me see, because they'll probably take about, I think, at least 70% of it. It depends on the team. Some teams might take the whole thing.
Already in the negative, so it ain't gonna help a damn. It ain't gonna help shit.
I thought you was asking me like trade my Ryan for the Miami Dolphins cap space. Hell yeah, I will trade him.
No. The Falcons will have to give up their first round pick because the other team.
You're basically telling me that.
Yeah, that's what happened in the Brock Osweiler deal. The Houston Texans traded Brock Osweiler to Cleveland.
Okay.
But in order for them to entice Cleveland to take on that contract, the Texans had to give up their first pick in the draft.
Ain't no way I'm doing that.
That's what I'm saying. If people that want Matt Ryan traded, are you willing to give up the 8th overall pick to a team to trade him? And that's a question nobody really ever thinks about.
Let me tell you this.
Hell no.
Why in the hell does Brock Osweiler even get paid that much?
Hey, it's the same.
I'm asking you the same question. Like, KStylzz, please tell me why. please.
Because remember, he was the big quarterback with the big arm that can run. He was going to be the next prototypical guy.
No. You know why he got paid? Because he looked like that motherfucker in Twilight.
I'm about to get up.
If I remember correctly, Houston Texans gave him like a 4-year. I think it was like 100. I think it was close to 100. I think it was like $105 million contract. Because remember, he only played like half a season before that. So it was all based on potential.
Yeah.
But he bombed in Houston. So Houston was trying to get rid of him by any means necessary.
Mm-hmm.
And see,
Can I ask a question?
Hold on, wait. Let's get Jerry real quick.
Okay.
Jerry, what's up, man? Jerry. I don't think he's ready yet.
So I can ask it now.
Yeah, go ahead. He ain't ready yet. Go ahead.
So we talk about the consequences of trading Matt Ryan, right?
Mm-hmm.
But I want to ask y'all this. In your opinion, what package or how many assets would it take for y'all to trade Matt? Hypothetically, what would it take for y'all to trade Matt?
If Matt Stafford could get 2 first-round picks, that's the minimum. That's the bare minimum right there, right?
I mean, not only that, if you're trading Matt Ryan, you gotta make sure that you get with those lower round picks. You building a defense. I'm not trading Matt Ryan if I'm not building a defense. That's stupid shit.
Exactly.
Right.
Exactly. Because if you build that defense, if you build those trenches, like I said, you could plug and play guys in there, but you're setting that. You're like we always say, you setting that foundation. And like I said, Brock Osweiler, and going back to Brock Osweiler, here was the contract that he had. He had a 4-year. This was 2016, 2009. He had a 4-year, $72 million contract. $37 million guaranteed.
Okay.
He played so bad. That Houston gave up their first pick, their first draft pick.
This is the worst part of it. Cleveland take Brock Osweiler, right? And they end up drafting Deshaun Kaiser in the second round.
Exactly.
What a fucking mess, man.
Yeah.
But
And
hey,
they both end up dead.
That's what some fans are willing to do to trade Ryan.
Yeah, man, because like I said, you can't. Like I said, if you willing to do that, that means if you wanted a Jordan Davis or Jermaine Johnson or somebody in the first round, that's the better way of saying it. Would you trade Matt Ryan and sacrifice your first 2 draft picks?
No.
And maybe in both of those draft picks, you end up getting 2 people that ended up being superstars later in the league.
But the only problem is that's where your scouting department that's gonna put all the pressure on because they ain't got no choice but to hit in the draft.
And then the thing is, even if you still end up trading, so let's say you end up trading Ryan, okay, and you give up those first 2 picks, you still end up having holes on the offense and defensive side. Right. You don't have no quarterback, and you don't have you don't have 2 second-round picks or a first to fix either one of those.
And you don't get any better in terms of cap space.
Now if the other team, but the thing is, if the other team's willing to take on the cap space,
then we save like $40 million.
You can save $40 million, but the problem is now you have no quarterback. You're going to have to go into free agency and get a stopgap quarterback because you're going to still need to build the team.
No, I'm not doing that trade.
Hey, nobody wants to lose. If we take that route, we might as well have started a rebuild or something. Because if we get rid of Matt Ryan, we're not ready for a young quarterback to step into this team and make a difference at this point. But if we want to win now and prepare for the future, you got to keep Matt Ryan. It's just the way it is. And I think you have a better chance anyway with Matt Ryan if you're going to try to win now.
Hold on. I want to say this though. So earlier today, I was watching a Falcons video. It was something about signing Allen Robinson or I think it was Amari Cooper. And I read this comment that said, don't sign either one of them. He also said to trade Ryan, Ridley, Grady Jarrett, and Deion Jones all in this year. He basically said that it would save us the cap. It would get us extra picks. And he said, don't sign Robinson. Don't upgrade the wide receiver position at all. Sign Russell Gage, James Washington, and some no-name wide receiver.
That wasn't true. That wasn't true.
I'm about to say that.
That's what he said.
That's called tanking. That's what that's called, tanking.
What was he smoking? What was he smoking?
Hold on. Go. Say them names. Okay, say them names again. Hold on. I need to see something right quick. So hold on. Let me make sure I bring this up right. Say them names again. Okay, let's say we're gonna say trade him pre-June 1st. Okay, say them names again.
That were traded, right?
Okay, you said Matt Ryan was one.
Grady Jarrett, Calvin Ridley,
Grady Jarrett, Calvin
and Deion
Ridley,
Jones.
Deion Jones. So you're looking at a possible $60 million worth of dead money.
Oh, no way.
That ain't good.
That
ain't
and
good.
then the thing is, I replied to his comment. He said I asked him if he was trolling. He responded to me with saying,
"Who is it?
Man, call the name out. Goddamn.
They're playing man. They're playing man.
I'm gonna have to leave and look back in a minute. But let me say this though. He said, so I asked him. He said if I said if he was trolling. He said no. He said Matt Ryan was the reason he held us back last year. He said our defense was the main reason we won 7 games last year. He did not state that the offense gave up basically the most hits on the QB and the 5th most ranked sacks in the NFL. He also stated that Teddy Bridgewater, Drew Lock, or who else was it? Case Keenum would be better quarterback fits for us and would lead us to more wins.
Man, please go get that name. I'm sorry.
I need to find
right now.
Because Matt literally didn't Matt have like 4 fourth quarter comebacks last year? It was Miami,
4.
Boy,
New Orleans.
Let me ask you this.
And it was what was the third one? Was it against Jacksonville?
Yeah, I know the Saints, they got up on us and they had to make that final win.
Right, it was the Saints in Miami. I know that, but I think the other one, the third one,
the Giants.
Oh yeah.
See, but the thing is, now if you do a post June 1st trade, I think that's where he was going with it, but he didn't specify what the hell he was talking about. Because if you're looking at post June 1st, let me see. If you do post, I know it still ain't no better, but I'm talking about for the conversation wise, the motherfucker ain't clarify what the hell he was talking about.
I found the
What more clarification do you need for that stupid comment?
All right, guys. So this was on the Chat Sports video today. His name was Caleb D. Okay. Caleb D. He said so basically, and he's going. And the crazy thing is, he's going off of PFF base bet stats that Grady.
No, I don't need to know no more. You said PFF bet stats. That's all I need to know.
What's the name, bro?
Let me just say two things though. Okay, he said it was he looked at PFF. He said it was a plus 450 for the Ravens to have Grady in 2022, and 630. For Ryan to be the Commanders, Saints, or Dolphins quarterback next year. That's all I needed to see to say that this man is smoking something good, and I think every drug dealer in the world would love to have it.
Oh, okay. I found it. Right. I found it. I see it. You say Matt Ryan, Calvin Ridley, Deion Jones, and Grady Jarrett will be traded this offseason, and we will still win the NFC South. And 2022 and 2023,
He
New
said we would
Orleans
still
very
win the
poor
NFC
defense.
South.
Now,
Tampa Bay is
easy.
losing
I
a
think
lot
it,
of good interior all linemen without
Look at my
the
face.
7-win team. Carolina is the new Washington football team. A Daniel Snyder type owner. Carolina will have the number 1 overall pick in
Hey,
2023.
somebody
Hey.
screenshot that to me.
exactly. I need to
I-
see
I
that.
got-
believe that.
Hey,
I
look.
believe
Hey,
somebody
look.
else.
Mike,
Hey,
you
look,
want me to
Trill.
do it now?
Hey, Mike,
Yeah.
Mike,
Yeah, can you put the channel name
check
in the private chat too, Trey?
Okay.
Mike,
Triple G said it best. He said that boy
Mike,
smoking that McQuilkin right there, boy.
Mike.
That man's smoking crack rock.
I'm sending it to you on Instagram. Check out
So,
your DM now.
Easy. I want you to read my comment right quick and then read what he said right after that.
Okay, hold on. Give me a second.
Oh my God.
So let me just say this again, guys. This man said that we were going to win the division if we traded Grady Jarrett,
Yeah,
Matt
man.
Ryan, Calvin Ridley, and
What's your
Deion
name?
Jones all in the same season.
What's your name over there, Trey?
These are
Trey
all
say
key
you
players.
trolling, right? Trey say you trolling. And he respond. And what part? Please explain. Deion might get caught. I would like the Cowboys to trade the 3rd and 4th round for Deion Jones. Matt Ryan, 95%. Broncos, Commanders, Browns. Future QB, right? He said Matt Ryan is at 95% future QB of the Browns, Commanders, and Broncos. He said Calvin Ridley, 100% an Eagle. Grady Jarrett is 85% going to the Ravens playoff team if they are traded. Okay. You say Carolina is in the bottom 5 for the next 2 to 3. Well, I'm just gonna send the link of
He on that what, Mike?
Yeah.
He on that fence, boy. He on that fence.
Hold on,
KStylzz.
KStylzz, you on your computer or your phone right now?
What to look it up? Oh, I'm looking it up on my phone right now.
Okay, yeah. If you could put it up on the screen, because what I read right there had me baffled, because I've heard it all. I've heard it all before, saying Daniel Jones, Mike, and whoever's in the Discord, you may know of that little conversation we had a couple weeks ago with the Daniel Jones thing.
Oh God.
I've heard who else was it? I've heard Case Keenum, but this man said Teddy Bridgewater, the dude that threw an interception against the Eagles and stood there while Darius Slay ran right past him. That guy will lead us to more wins than Matt Ryan did this year. The same dude that had Cortland Sutton, a breakout rookie in Javonte Williams, Melvin Gordon, who broke out again this year, KJ Hamler, Jerry Jeudy, Noah Fant, a top 10 offensive line, a top 10 defense.
Trey
led them to what? What is it now? The 12th pick in the draft?
Trey. In your honest opinion, do you think this guy is a Falcons fan or?
Oh no, he's a troll. He's got to be a troll, because there's no way you can tell me that Teddy Bridgewater, out of all quarterbacks, I could see it if you said anybody else, but Teddy Bridgewater. Dude.
I saw that this man wrote like 5 paragraphs, right? 5 big ass paragraphs. He wrote a whole topic. And when Harry Troll is losing his time writing a topic.
That boy wrote a memoir. That's what it sounds like. That ain't no troll. That's
I was gonna say I don't think
I'm
that's a
not
troll.
gonna lie, Trey. I've heard worse. There was this. Go ahead, Jerry. My bad.
No, I was just going to say the same thing you were about to say. Like, I've heard worse than that. Like, I don't think that's a troll. I think this is everybody that's saying that this Falcons team is just going to tank, going to rebuild, start over. We're going to get rid of Matt Ryan. We're going to start getting rid of all our top players like most teams do when they're trying to just rebuild and, just start a story or something, it seems to me.
Somebody literally tried to convince me that Taylor Heineke was better than Matt Ryan. Then when he got proven wrong, he tried to say, "Oh, well, Matt threw the ball 60 times more."
I saw it was somebody on Twitter. I think it was something about the when Malik Willis, when somebody said, well, put him behind the Falcons O line. Someone said that because Malik Willis is mobile, that he can get out of those pressure situations. Now, the thing I want to say about that is the three most sacked quarterbacks in the past 2 years have been Carson Wentz, Russell Wilson, and Lamar Jackson. Three of the most mobile QBs in the NFL, just to state that fact too. But he also said that Matt Ryan was holding the team back because of his playmaking decisions and that he didn't know how to read defenses whatsoever.
And don't forget, Deshaun Watson got sacked 60 times in the season too.
Mm-hmm.
People don't talk about that.
But I don't understand how you can say the quarterback
situation on his hand right now.
It ain't not one quarterback that can win games if their offensive line ain't at least an average offensive line. I don't care if you're a fast runner or any of that, because they'll key on running game, force you to beat them a different way. And if they force you to try to pass the ball, your offensive line ain't really good, what's going to happen? They're going to sack you. I mean, that's just the way it works.
I mean,
but Jerry, it's so crazy. We've seen this on national TV in the Super Bowl twice in the past 3 years. We've seen it in the Kansas City Super Bowl versus the Buccaneers, and we just seen it with the Bengals and the Rams. But these fans will still say we need to trade Matt Ryan instead of building the defense, instead of building the offensive line. You literally see it in the biggest game of them all.
The thing is, some people still don't understand that even in the biggest games, guess what weapons Joe Burrow and Tyreek had? Joe Burrow just had the best wide receiver trio in the league last year. Maybe the best offensive starters in the league, hands down. Patrick Mahomes has weapons on top of weapons, and a top 2 tight end in Travis Kelce and a top 3 wide receiver in Tyreek Hill. Plus, he has a mastermind and offensive coordinator that's been there for years, and he's just building on what he's going to do. I like the only thing consistently Matt Ryan has had is weapons. He's never had really a good offensive line. The one year he had an average offensive line, good weapons, and a playmaking defense at least, he took the team to a Super Bowl. I don't know what else needs.
And even that offensive line was mid, because didn't he get sacked like 36, 38 times that season too?
I think he got
This is the problem why your quarterback got sacked most in the NFL, right? The most in the NFL. And on top of that, your defense cannot get sacked.
And we still won 7 games, but people want to say Arthur Smith is a bad coach. He got all after last season. He got all my respect. I don't care what nobody say. We won 7 games with that roster, bro.
Guys, we should have not won 7 games last year. That roster, especially on that offensive side of the ball.
And we really should have won 9 if it wasn't for that 49ers and Bills game too.
We should
really the Washington football game too.
Really,
the defense can't. I'm gonna be honest with y'all. I knew we were gonna lose that Washington game when Terry McLaurin literally mossed 2 guys at the same time in the back of the end zone when he has to toe tap, recover the ball, and get his feet in bounds. I was like, yeah, the game's over with right there. Because I don't understand. Even if you have 2 under average guys back there, Terry McLaurin shouldn't be able to do that, dude. 2, you got Kyle. I was about to say Kyle Allen. Taylor Heineke over here breaking sacks like he's Lamar Jackson or somebody, Steve Young or something. I'm like,
I think that was just our defense. Or when I say our defense, I mean the pass rush just not having a good game.
Number 6.
Reason why you can make that play. Yeah,
and that was TJ Green too. That's the game. After that game, he got cut, and that next Monday started the Tyler Davidson roast session.
Yeah, I'm trying to think. Was that the game that Isaiah Oliver got hurt in too?
Yes,
same game.
He broke his leg. Yep.
I think he got picked up. He got picked up on a blitz by the running back. Forgot his name.
That's exactly what happened, Jerry. Yep. Broke his leg in half.
J.D. McKissick. I think J.D. McKissick picked him up.
It was his right leg too. I remember that play.
I think after that was another thing that hurt us when we lost Isaiah Oliver, because our defense actually was decent with Isaiah Oliver being able to get the blitzes in and be able to be a little physical on the slot guys and stuff like that. And our defense was doing pretty decent, and then of course it dropped off. But then when we were able to get the big guys in the middle, we kind of picked back up a little bit. But just imagine if we had Isaiah Oliver when we got those bigger guys. I think we'd have been even better.
Exactly.
Because a lot of people don't realize that Isaiah Oliver was holding the edge just as well as Stephen Means was.
Oh, he was.
That's why you got to think about it. That game, Matt threw 4 touchdowns, a 70% completion rate, and like 300 yards, and still lost the game. Like, he set a record that game for, and if Mike or KStylzz, if y'all can look it up, but after that game, Matt Ryan set a record of, it's a certain amount of yards, a certain amount of touchdowns, but still losing the game in a losing effort. Right. And he's the only quarterback that holds that record. If y'all can look it up for me and find it, I would appreciate it. But yeah, that's bad.
We see this is the problem right here. We're only breaking records when it comes to negative stuff.
I mean,
this is a fucking problem, man.
Well, that was mostly the last regime where we had a lot of issues with that. That was when we was kind of losing games and all these different ways, and it was just it was just bothering everybody at that point. Like, how are we losing these games? Like they're surefire wins.
Last year, then we had Julio Jones. They had all these guys together. Todd Gurley, overpaid Dante Failure Jr. on their team. They could not win 5 games.
And to add the Triple G comment, I mean, yes, Arthur Smith held himself accountable for that Washington game, but you got to think about it. First, we had the Isaiah Oliver injury, and then 2, Eric Harris dropped 3 picks, and then Devon Harmon dropped the pick. If Eric Harris holds on to one of them picks, that the game is over with, bro. Just like the Cowboys game. Dak Prescott literally threw a pick in Eric Harris' hands, and he dropped it.
Changed the whole momentum of the game.
Yeah. Exactly.
And the very next throw, Dak Prescott throws a touchdown. He throws a Jesus pass that got caught in the end zone. And it was Jesus.
We should beat the Panthers at home last year. We should beat the Panthers on Halloween last year.
Yeah, it's the 5 games. Yeah, it's the first Panthers game, the Cowboys, the 49ers, the Bills, and that Washington game. Those games literally upset me thinking about it, because those,
I mean, you should not be
just
upset,
one play, bro. Just one play would have changed the whole momentum. But the referees absolutely screwed us over versus Buffalo and in San Francisco. I don't care what nobody say.
Yeah, that first play in the San Francisco game was disappointing. I was like, man,
you should have heard Mike
we should have gotten that in, though.
Boy, we was all pissed. I ain't even gonna lie. Like, that man clearly crossed the plane. How are you gonna take that back? You got all this video technology, and you still took the touchdown away from us. What's the point of even reviewing the play?
It's to overturn it, though. Like, it literally, like, how do you overturn something? It says it has to truly be, like, evident that, without a shadow of a doubt, that guy didn't get in the end zone, and yet still they overturned that. That's what I didn't understand.
I knew since they overturned the call, we'll never get a touchdown on this drive, because next very next snap, we fucking botched the snap. We lost 3 yards, I think.
Yeah.
Fucking frustrating, man.
Yeah.
But I think they're gonna build it the right way. Like I say, I mean, I don't know what we're gonna do in the draft. Whether we trade back, me personally, if we stay at the 8th pick, I mean, we got to get the best guy, but if we're trying to definitely do with the trenches. I'm fine with that too, because we definitely use that.
One more thing. Stop trying to draft this more assets player. We need big dudes. Stop drafting undersized player. This
That's
shit get
big.
on my nerves, but Vic Beasley. When I look at Vic Beasley doesn't have the size of a middle linebacker.
I was
Vic
okay with
Beasley
Big Beasley
clearly
though.
have the size of a defensive back.
I
When
was
you don't
okay
have
with
a
Big
nose,
Beasley.
when you don't have a nose there, it doesn't matter. Like you got to have a plethora of guys, and that's the problem. Falcons. Dan Quinn wanted a bunch of guys that was 3 techs. He won the whole
KStylzz.
defensive line worth of 3 techs. And
KStylzz.
that's the problem.
What is the size of Vic Beasley? Is it a defensive end size? Is it a middle linebacker size?
He's
It's a defensive back size. Vic Beasley is a defensive back size, bro.
What it was Vic beat. They played Vic Beasley as a defensive end when he was a 3-4 outside linebacker, which is about 230, 240.
Ridiculous, man.
Yeah, that was the problem. They wasn't using him right because, like I said, I thought he was a good player personally. I know they moved him also out. They moved him from being an outside linebacker at one of his seasons, didn't he?
That wasn't the problem. Vic Beasley's size was never the issue. They took away Rasheed Hageman, and they took away the biggest part. And they took away Rasheed Hageman and Dontari Pope. When you don't have big guys that's going to eat up space, it doesn't matter how big you are as a defensive player. You got to have those big monsters up front.
The year we had Dontari Poe, we had the most sacks as a D line.
And the problem was the scheme they used. We should use Vic Beasley the same way the Cowboys are using Micah Parsons.
No, the problem was they did do that. The issue was you wasn't getting no pressure up the middle. Because remember, when Vic Beasley led the league in sacks, you had Jonathan Babineau, you had Courtney Upshaw, you had Grady Jarrett,
Freeney.
You had Adrian Claiborne. You had guys that can occupy set edges and be able to relieve some of that pressure.
Let me load this. Let me unload this, man. This shit gets on my nerves, but anytime I heard Grady Jarrett is getting triple team, that's mean more than the half of the offensive line is focusing on Grady Jarrett. But still, even on the blitz, with only 2 people protecting a blitz, we could not get pressure.
Yeah,
it's fucking ridiculous.
Yeah, because Dante Fowler getting blown off the line by running backs. You got Tyler Davidson who can't make a move to save his life. And God bless Jonathan Bullard, but he ain't got the pass rush neither. And you got Ogundeji trying to learn the damn position because he's not exactly a 3-4 outside linebacker himself. He's still learning. He's an edge setter. He's basically what Steven Means is.
Okay.
He's an edge setter.
You got 5 people. You got 5 people on the line, right? And 3 of these people they on Grady Jarrett, right? Too many people plus the running back should be focusing on like if the Falcons bring your blitz or not. Let's say we bring your blitz. You got like 4 more people, 5 more people. You only got 3 people blocking 5 more people. But still, we find a way to not getting pressure. This is
the thing.
Ridiculous.
Let me get you on that right quick.
Anytime I heard that, man, my head just explodes.
Let me get you on that right quick though. Because even with that case being said, if you notice how they triple and double team Grady Jarrett, see, they getting the ball out quick. They got plays set up to where the other team got set plays where they set. Because if you notice, most of those plays that he's getting triple team, the other team is running option slants. They running slants. They running these quick routes, so they getting the ball out quick. But the issue is by not having that guy next to Grady that can be like, okay, now we got to account for this guy too. Because let's be honest with Grady Jarrett. Grady Jarrett needs, and this is like with Aaron Donald as well. And I have to put Aaron Donald in here well. Aaron Donald is a beast. He's a monster.
Yeah.
But if you look at the defense, you have a threat of at least 3 to 4 guys that can get you at least 5 to 6 sacks a season.
KStylzz. If it wasn't for Grady Jarrett was easily a pure luck. That was a luck, man. That was the steal of the draft.
Right.
And then you got AJ Terrell. Who will miss out on AJ Terrell? He was clearly a talent. He was like the best corner in 2020 draft, right? One of the best.
Mm-hmm.
So if it wasn't for those two guys, last season we would have completely sucked, man. Horrible contract, terrible draft picks, for a devastating free agency signing, but anything, man. This is why we here.
So my question would be is, are Falcon fans really ready for the rebuild?
Hell no.
No, thank you.
God,
Not unless it's the quarterback that they want, but no.
But that's what I'm saying. Like I said, you got folks that want the rebuild, but are you ready for the rebuild? Because if I remember correctly, there was another team here in Atlanta. There was another team in Atlanta that went through this rebuild for years that nobody gave a fuck about until
they won the World Series.
Exactly. Then all of a sudden everybody started claiming them. But before that rebuild, nobody gave two shits about it. I wonder why.
half of these dudes can't even check a year.
Let me tell you something. Why do I saw all these people claiming the Braves? In the meantime, they don't even watch baseball. These people don't even watch baseball.
That's the code. That's the average sports fan in general. You're gonna claim on to somebody that wins something, but you don't want to fuck with that team when they struggle. That's the average sports fan in general.
Yeah, let's go ahead and Cole. We're gonna start with
shit that in my nerves, man.
Mm-hmm. So you get your talking ass. You get your talking ass. Last words there. That motherfucker got a whole notebook pad ready. I know you got.
Yeah, man. I'm ready to unload anytime, man. Bam.
Go ahead. What's your last take?
I think Artis Smith done a pretty good job last year based on the roster that we had. If Dan Quinn somehow managed to only win 4 games with all those dudes last year, we should win 3 or 2 games this year based on the roster that we had. But somehow Artis Smith and the coaching staff managed to win 7 games. But they could get more. But I think they're ready to take a huge step this year. I really think they're gonna take a huge step this year. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Good.
Okay. It's a huge step. All right. Jerry, you want to go ahead and go next?
Yeah, and I'll just say this. This is for all of us as fans. I just want to go and say, like, if you want this quarterback to come in on this team that's not prepared for a quarterback to be here, with an offensive line that still needs work, need a running game, receivers, and even a defense, be prepared for a rebuild. And my thing is, if you rebuilding, it's a gamble. You know, a lot of times, you may hit right, you may not. You know, it may not be that the player is not a good player. The player could actually be a good player, but maybe they just didn't fit the system like they thought. I mean, that's called human error. Even scouts and coaches, good coaches, do miss sometimes. So if you do it the right way, it's been proven. You bring these young quarterbacks in, and the system's already ready to go for them, they have better success. So I would say follow that system and continue to try to win games now, and follow a system where things are set up. You already got the winning culture. You bring in another quarterback into the winning culture, and then from that point on, you just continue forward with the whole culture that you have, versus just bringing them in now when it's not even set up. We ain't even finished setting the whole process up, and then we doomed to start seeing a team fall off, and within 2 or 3 years, we losing the GM and the coach and getting a whole nother coach and starting over again.
Hey, I saw a comment that I like. Isaac Crimes, you say easy got them Michael Blackson jokes. Appreciate that.
Oh Lord.
Appreciate that.
They get the bladder infection.
Trey, what you got, bro?
So, really for me, last two things I'm gonna say. One, if they talking about rebuild, half of these fans can't even take one season of being out of the playoffs. Let them have to go through a Browns or a Jets situation. Half of these fools will be going by 2025. And that's all let's say, okay, this is Matt Ryan's last season here, and they take a quarterback this year, and they trade him, and that quarterback doesn't work. And then they draft another one, and that quarterback doesn't work. And they draft another one, and that quarterback doesn't work. But the team you traded Ryan to, probably the coach or somebody, ends up winning 2 Super Bowls in the 4 years he's there. Then what are y'all going to say?
Oh, man. Oh, I know exactly what they're going to say. Well, he had a good team around him.
Y'all call Russell Gage being your number one wide receiver, a good team around him?
I like, duh, that's the whole purpose of winning a championship is to have the best team. That's a very interesting theory. That's an interesting football theory that most people fail to mention. I didn't know it existed, but I'm just saying.
Yeah. I'm gonna just be completely honest. If we don't make the playoffs this year, or if this draft class doesn't work, they will be calling for Arthur Smith and Terry Fontenot's head next offseason by the time the season.
Bingo.
I'm gonna let y'all know.
That's exactly what I believe.
Because if we end up going like 8-9 or 9-8 this season and we don't make the playoffs, they will be asking for Arthur to be fired next year. They're going to say that Matt Ryan needs to be gone, but even more, they're going to say that we didn't waste his time here and he sucks and he had the team around him when he's probably still got popped a whole bunch of times.
Most of them content creators did that already. They already
Three, they're going to be asking for Arthur Blank to sell the team like this Lions fans are doing right now. I mean, I've already seen a couple of them say, yeah, Arthur Blank sell the team. I don't know. Because somebody said Tuesday, we don't know if the next owner is going to even want this team to be in Atlanta anymore after all the chaos they went through. And the last thing that they're probably going to be asking for is for the team not just going a full rebuild, but they're going to be asking for players that aren't going to want to come here. Superstars don't want to come to a rebuild. Grady Jarrett already said he does not want to go through a rebuild. Matt Ryan already said he does not want to go through a rebuild. These players do not want to spend their last great years trying to build a team up for the future. AJ Terrell, you never know. If let's say AJ Terrell is the best corner in the league, and this plays out like the Jags. When the Jags had Ramsey, but they sucked, and he says, okay, trade me. I want to go to a team that can actually win. Because Terrell he'll be top 3 next year. I can guarantee that he'll be top 3. Or let's say we ended Richie Grant or Jalen Hawkins end up working out, and they end up being stars, superstars, and they want to get traded. Well, then you're losing your core pieces right there that you wanted for the quote-unquote future instead of trying to win now and trying to plan for the future at the same time because it's been done before. The Chiefs just did it. Now, not to say we're the Chiefs, but what did the Chiefs do? They built their team up first, drafted the QB when the team was nearly there, and then that following offseason when Mahomes was getting ready to start, they finished the team off, they polished it off, and then there you go. You have 4 straight AFC championships, a Super Bowl ring, 2 Super Bowl appearances, and straight winning seasons.
Exactly.
Proven. Yep.
And I about to say too, the main, like I said, there's no complete formula to do it, but one of the main ingredients in that, the motherfucking trenches.
Oh yeah.
I mean, Andy Reid said last year after that Super Bowl, we've got to fix. I mean, not Andy Reid. it was the Broncos coach before he got fired. He said we have got to be able to play in the trenches, but we also have to have a quarterback to be able to keep up, and they had neither.
Well, Evangel said that.
I don't know why he didn't do that in the first place. Why he was there before he
That's
got
what I'm saying.
fired.
Like I didn't take him for the type to even care about that. Seems like he's mostly a defensive guy.
Yeah, he is. He fired the one good offensive coordinator he had and put in the dude that didn't even know what he was doing. So he can go be a defensive coordinator somewhere like ice cream out there in Dallas.
Right. All right. ATL, go ahead, man. What you got for us?
So for my 2-point conversion, I got two things. One of the things is I've been seeing this false narrative that Jordan Davis can't get to the quarterback. I got some homework for y'all in the comment sections. I'm not talking about highlights. Go look at game film of the Clemson game, the South Carolina game, the Florida game, and the national championship game. And after you watch game film of those 4 games, and this is just off the top of my head, you tell me if Jordan Davis can't get to the quarterback or not. And the second thing I want to address is you thought last offseason was crazy when Matt Ryan got that restructuring and we passed on the quarterback. Wait until we get this extension. The real Falcon fan percentage is gonna drop from 6 to 2.
What happens if they start winning though?
They ain't coming back because I got the receipts. Oh, and if anybody, if you want to send some receipts to me, my Twitter is ATM0534.
ATM, what I'm gonna say about that one is, if just wait till that. I want you to look at this. Y'all thought Matt Ryan was trending the last time when what was that, last week I think? Wait till he gets that extension.
Damn near the whole off season he been trending. He ain't played, but
man, he been trending. He been trending the whole playoffs, bro.
Basically, he was trending for some odd reason. He was trending during the NFC division rival between the Bengals and the Titans, and they was like, well, Joe Burrow's doing this without an offensive line.
The Bengals at least had a running game.
The Bengals at least had a top 3 wide receiving core. The Bengals at least had a good coaching staff. The Bengals at least had a top 5 defense in the playoffs.
They had a defense and a running game, and they had some help from Ryan Tannehill. I didn't know he played for the Bengals that day either.
I didn't know his main wide receivers was Logan Wilson and Jesse Bates. Two great expectations.
Exactly.
He's a top 5 quarterback though.
Boy was throwing mid the whole game.
He's the guy that has that big, strong arm that Julio won it last year.
I didn't see that play in the fit. That big, strong arm was gone when Derrick Henry went down.
Right. and speaking of Julio, you know what I'm saying, alley-oop it to either KStylzz or Mike. 400 yards and 1 touchdown, Julio. That's not gonna get you a new contract this offseason, bro.
Brother, that's gonna get you a 1 year, $2 million contract.
Boy, that's talking about he want this new contract.
I'm gonna keep it real with you, bro. Someone is willing to pay Julio Jones the amount of money that he wants just because he is Julio Jones.
I mean, Jacksonville got the cap space. I mean,
but that'd be kind of a risk, though, man. That'd be too big of a risk because if you look at how his numbers been for the past few seasons, most have been the injury. But I mean, he ain't really been able to be on the field much, so that'd be too big of a risk for them to pay that money.
I mean, the Titans do that at the same thing, but they sent a second rounder and a 4th, so plus took his contract.
Exactly. All right, but yeah, so definitely like what he said with Julio Jones. That didn't really look too good, and that's why I said about Ryan Tannehill. Like I said, his strong arm was gone when Derrick Henry was gone. And I kind of agree with what he said about it would be a big risk to want that contract. I mean, it's not going to be really much warranted as far as okay, you talking about another $20-30 million. Hell, damn, the Tennessee Titan fans want Julio Jones gone.
Oh, I saw some videos on that. They were mad. They were making threats like, "Oh, I want to see you out there making some plays, Julio."
They said we finessed them. They even admitted it.
No, I never.
We ain't
No,
finessing.
no. You know what I told him? I said, I thought y'all was going to the Super Bowl with that because I distinctively
Exactly.
remember Tennessee. I distinctively remember Tennessee Titans fans talking about we're going to the Super Bowl, and then all of a sudden now y'all got finesse.
I remember AJ Brown, begging, pleading, talking about some Julio, posting DMs and everything.
That man said, "I'll give him my number so you can wear Julio."
Why?
And also, weren't they the number one team betted to be the Super Bowl champions last year?
On every sports network. Yep.
One dude that's 32 years old and out of his prime made them Super Bowl champions.
Oh, they were Super Bowl champions, all right, boy. They were the toilet bowl champions. That's what happened, boy. Cause as you're talking about Julio was taking the piss, boy. AJ Brown was like, "Man, shit, I'll hold it for you, boy. Just get your ass over here. We need you."
I ain't gonna lie. I wouldn't be surprised if AJ Brown had surgery and gave his hamstrings to Julio.
They probably would. That's why I said you need to trade Calvin Ridley over to Tennessee so they can all have a family affair.
Yeah, just give us your first round pick. You don't have no need for it. Just slide that right over here. It's late anyway.
Exactly.
Calvin Ridley. I don't even consider Calvin Ridley Falcons right now, man. Because I saw him out of Atlanta way long time ago.
It is what it is. But like I said, I'm gonna do my final one here right quick. Like I said, we definitely appreciate everybody tuning in. As we said for the beginning, hold on. My bad. Moon pies, but back to what we were saying. Do not take too much stock into these combines, bro. We don't give a fuck what these folks do with these 40s. We don't care about what they do in these drills. At the end of the day, it's all about what you put on film, on tape.
Prime example of the 40-yard thing. John Ross and CJ2K had the fastest 40-yard times, but aren't even counted as superstars in the league right now, or were.
Right. You had five. I think they said you had 5 wide receivers run
under 440.
Under 4.4. You had 6 receivers that did that.
Let me ask you a question. What does Tyreek Hill want at the combine?
0.
Like a 4.3, 4.28, 4.3.
Mm-hmm.
How the hell he didn't want a 0, like Mike said?
That motherfucker blank. That's what he is.
Like that, you blink, he already in the end zone.
Then how the hell he didn't want like a 1 or a 0? I don't understand.
Blank.
Because the 40-yard time is the least, what's the word for it? The least important thing out of the combine, or even in pro days, because it's not. Even the 40, you're not even running in shoulder pads and helmet. You're just running in joggers. Anyone can run a fast 40 time in some joggers and some cleats and a sweatshirt or something.
You see the freeze they be having at the Braves game and stuff like that?
Right. Yeah.
These freeze will run like a 3 or 2.
He
fast as hell.
He fast. But like I said, as we were saying, like I said, don't put too much stock into these 40 drills. As far as, like I said, if you're gonna put stock into like any of the drills in the combine, that's why I said the 10-yard shuttle.
Yeah.
and the broad jump is really the only two things you really need to look at because that's
And the vert.
explosion and the vert because that's all about explosion and change of direction. But even with that, you're doing it in tracks. You're doing it in track attire. You're not doing it in pads.
And there is no pressure, no empty field. Okay, backyard football.
Yeah, and like I said, you're not running. Like I said, why?
It's not game speed.
It's not game speed because the game speed, you gotta think as well. You're not just running. You have to think. You gotta feel the game. And this is
And
what
you're not just running in a straight line either.
Hell no. You may be running in a straight. The only time you running in a straight line is if
it's a Hail Mary.
Basically. So if you don't know how to change direction real quick, you don't know how to process information real quick. It don't matter what you do in the matter what these players do in the combine. The biggest difference between a guy running a 4.3 that's ain't worth a damn and a guy that's running a 4.6 that is effective is the other things that he can do within the game.
Okay. I mean, Julian Edelman ran like 4.7 or 4.6 something, and look what he turned out to be.
Anquan Bolden ran a 4.8.
This is why I asked about Tyreek Hill. What does Tyreek Hill run in the combine?
It don't damn matter. He's a fucking cheater. It don't matter.
Yeah. See, the thing is, he ran like a 4. I think he said he ran like a 4.3 something, but he could do it in the pass. But he can do it in pads too. That's the difference.
And he gets a lot of his speed also going further, not just running 40. You know.
Mm-hmm.
That man was a track star before he started playing football. I mean,
because the question I got for everybody is, when you see John Ross run, he in pads, he's usually running about a 4.4, not a 4.21.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Because if he has such electric speed, he should be able to burn corners off the top, or make those all over the top plays. But it seems like safeties and slower corners are keeping up with him.
And then you also got to look at with Tyreek Hill. Look at the routes he run in Kansas City. It's mostly those
go route.
It's a crossing route. A crossing route.
Deep post, yeah.
Deep post.
Shallow crosses.
Them shallow crosses. So those accentuate what
flat routes is. Too.
Mm-hmm. So those are most of the routes that he runs. But when you're talking about the average receiver ain't running those routes 15, 20 times a game.
Or in the season sometimes.
Mm-hmm. Because you got the route tree. And only like you said, the deep post, the deep corner, flat. Like I said,
the dig, the out.
Exactly.
The crosser.
That's why I said that 40-yard, that 10-yard shuttle is more important than that 40-yard dash because you got to know how to change direction just like that.
You've had some GMs say the 40 really should be taken out of the combine because it really don't matter what it do in the 40.
Be honest with you, they don't even need a damn combine to be honest with you.
Yeah.
They do college workouts, right? So I mean,
if you're doing pro days, that should be all you need.
Yeah.
Because some players
the combine is the way that the NFL used to keep people entertained since it's the off season and stuff like that. I mean, the NFL does a great job keeping his calendar busy.
I mean,
not really, because it's like you have the combine, and then for this, you have another about 2 weeks till free agency. Really, there's nothing really happening between then.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I mean, this is kind of what happens when you put the damn Pro Bowl before the damn Super Bowl. That could have been your stopgap right there for at least another week or two. Then you ain't got
to watch it still.
No, you didn't see that. If you saw the Pro Bowl this year, boy, I about to say you better off watching. You was better off watching the Puppy Bowl on damn Animal Planet, bro.
I don't even think people watch it anymore.
Yeah, the four. Mm-hmm. And plus, like I said, you could watch the combine on YouTube now on the NFL on YouTube now, so they don't nobody really watch it on TV like that.
They put the highlights in there.
No, they had that. They actually had the. From what I've seen, they actually had a lot of the drills and stuff too. But yeah. Judge the players based on what you see on tape and not what you see in drills. That's all I gotta say. And Mike is the closer.
Speak up, Mike.
Mike is the closer.
Damn.
Mike is the closer.
So this man just ain't gonna say nothing. You just gonna look at the screen.
He said he ain't got nothing to say.
I think he's shocked by that whole comment about. He's shocked by that whole comment.
What's that to say?
You still in a state of shock from that comment?
You would tell me to say something, so say something, Mike.
Oh, what did you say?
Deuces.
No, I was saying he's still in a state of shock from that comment that they posted about trading away everybody.
Oh yeah, that was next level.
I'm more disgusted by certain creators who think that they are the voices of the Atlanta Falcons, and everybody else they speak for the voice. They speak for Falcons fans, but everybody else don't speak for Falcons fans. I'm more disgusted by that. So, somebody will know what I'm talking about. But at the end of the day, at the end of the day, we are Falcons fans. Everybody got their own opinions. Let that shit be that you don't speak for everybody. Everybody speak for themselves.
Mm-hmm.
Period. Point blank. And it's a certain group of people who believe that they speak for everybody when they out here doing shows and they putting out all their information, and your information is wrong 90% of the times all year long. And these are the same people that said that they absolutely despise Arthur Smith as a play caller. He's a terrible play caller, but yet you want him to be the play caller for the great Malik Willis. Just make it.
They say they got sources too, according
Future
to them.
Hall of Famer Malik Willis is that that's what their name is. Future Hall of Famer.
He could very well be that, but if Arthur Smith sucks, why did you want him as his coach? That's all I'm trying to say. You know, at the end of the day, y'all motherfuckers don't speak for everybody. All right, that's just what it is. Everybody got difference of opinion, but don't act like you the only one that speaks for Falcons fans. That's all I got to say about that.
And stop claiming you got sources when you really don't.
Nah, they got sources. It's called they damn emotions. That's what that is.
Their source is Falcoholic.
We ain't gonna say nothing on that. We say that for another day. But we appreciate everybody that's still tuning in, because goddamn, I didn't know we was on this long. But until next time, make sure, like I said, make sure y'all support everybody. AFN, Mad Mike Sports, 6-Man KStylzz. Share, like, comment, subscribe, all that stuff. Until next time, appreciate everybody on coming up on here talking with us as well. We ain't here to play. We here to stay. You ain't gotta go home,
but you gotta get the hell up out of here.
I got more grant on the way.
Yes, sir.
Deuces.